Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please confirm once again, can you guys hear me and see my screen? And Jazakallah khair. Yes, Jazakallah khair, brother Ilyas, for helping the members out. Those who are having trouble with audio, please, ALMPG team members, please help them out. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, we can get started. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Indeed, all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. We praise Him and seek His help and forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from our soul's evil and our wrongdoings. He whom Allah guides, no one can misguide. And he whom Allah misguides, no one can guide. I bear witness that there is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, without any partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is His abd and final messenger. Sending durood upon our Nabi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you all with Islamic greeting, which means peace and blessing be upon each and every one of you. Jazakumullah khair for joining in for our today's session, ALMPG's webinar session for job search, interview prep, LinkedIn resume workshop, and motivation to succeed. We have a lot of things to cover today, inshallah. So let's get started. Let me move on to my second slide, and there you go. Okay, first a quick introduction. Why and for who is this webinar for? Okay, this webinar, this was my thought. We have done some webinars before, but not on full-fledged focusing on resume. But alhamdulillah, we started a thought in Ramadan this year that inshallah we should do a webinar where we can teach our members how to kind of prepare for interview, create a good resume, and create a good LinkedIn profile. And also show our members and our brothers and sisters some tips and tricks on how to get job, how to find job, how to look for job. And inshallah at the end we will also discuss about how to kind of succeed in whatever things you are interested in. You want to succeed, inshallah we'll discuss about this. And who is this webinar for? This webinar is for anybody and everybody who wants to succeed, inshallah. If you are in a job market, if you are a fresher looking for a job, or if you are a mid-level person with mid-level experience, you're trying to switch jobs, this is for you. If you are a senior member who wants to learn and give back to the community and you can teach others, so this webinar is for you. So basically this webinar is there is no age limit, you don't need any background, everybody, it is open for everybody. And inshallah this knowledge which we are passing on, it can help you and others to kind of make it easy for the job finding process, inshallah. So moving on, let's discuss what will be our webinar format. The webinar format will be, we will be doing a 2-hour session, inshallah. This webinar will be for 2 hours, and of course, yes, this is a free webinar, inshallah. And we will take a 5 to 10 minutes break in the middle, inshallah, depending on when we want to take it. Usually we take at the mid of the session, like after 1 hour, inshallah, we'll take the 5-minute break, and then we will have at the end of the session we will take Q&A, question and answers. Okay, and now moving on, a very interesting slide, presenters and agenda for today. So let me introduce you to all the presenters or the guest speakers who are in, alhamdulillah, today, who has volunteered to come in, give us their time and worked hard on their slides and trying to share their knowledge with us. So I see a lot of messages coming in. Let me quickly check the messages here. Okay, getting audio, everything okay there? Okay. All right, so yes, so our first guest speaker will be Brother Sarim Bhatti, inshallah. He will be talking on, he will be covering the topic best job search tips and tricks, and inshallah our second guest speaker will be Brother Abdul Wahab, alhamdulillah. He will be covering topic like tips and tricks for phone and face-to-face interview. And then we have Brother Fawaad Khan. Alhamdulillah, he is a kind of a social media expert guy. Inshallah, he will be covering how to create a top-notch LinkedIn profile, inshallah. And then finally, of course, me, this is your brother Dawood Ahmed. I am a part of ALMPG team. Alhamdulillah, I initially thought about this, doing this webinar in Ramadan for more reward, but unfortunately I was not able to do it. I had a baby, Alhamdulillah, in Ramadan, so I was quite, loaded with work. So Alhamdulillah, so I will be inshallah covering topics like how to create an eye-catching resume, inshallah, and then a quick recap on what Brother Sarim, Brother Abdul Wahab, and Brother Fawaad Khan has will cover. And inshallah, and at the end I will inshallah talk to you about what motivation we need to kind of achieve anything, inshallah. And at the end we will definitely take up Q&As. Okay, so let's get started. So what I want to do is now I will be passing on the ball to Brother Sarim, and inshallah he will share his screen and he will talk about his topic, which is best job search and tips and tricks. And I will leave to Brother Sarim to introduce himself. So I'm gonna just inshallah gonna unmute him. Brother Sarim, go ahead. I have unmuted you. Can you talk?
Yeah,
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, we can hear you. I have passed you the ball. Please go ahead, share your screen. We are locked in and loaded and ready to shoot. Okay, go ahead, share your screen. Jazakallah khair for joining in, Brother Sarim. I know it's too early. I and Brother Sarim are in PST time zone, so it's almost 8 o'clock here. So Jazakallah khair for coming in so early. So whenever you're ready, share your screen. Okay, perfect.
Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen. Alhamdulillah. Go ahead.
Okay, so do you see the screen that shows about me? Or is it the couple of flowers?
No, okay. Yes. I can see about me, yes.
All right, perfect. So before I get started, I just want to kind of tell a little bit about me. My name is Sarim Bhatti. I'm originally from Lahore, Pakistan. I'm currently based in Bellevue, Washington. Academically, I have a BA in accounting and a master's in IT systems. I got my undergrad from University of Washington and my master's from Harvard. While I was in school and after school, I was working for U.S. Bank, and from U.S. Bank I went to Bank of America and then Cascade Bank, and after these financial institutes I got into a fast track to a leadership rotation program at Boeing, and that's where I kind of learned the art of management in 3 years. It was a 3-year rotation program. In those 3 years, I worked on various assignments, and a couple of the best ones were I worked in a BI team, and then the second one was I negotiated the P-8 contract with the Indian Navy, and then negotiated a few things with the Saudi Royal Navy and then the Qatari Navies as well. Anyway, that's a little bit about me. Another thing I want to mention is that one of the things I do in my volunteer time is I represent Boeing at the various events such as the career fair, charity events, resume building workshops around the Washington area, mainly since I'm based here. So I kind of do that on the side, representing Boeing through Boeing. But when Brother Dowd told me about this platform, I also decided to volunteer here to help brothers out. So that's how kind of what my journey is that led me here. Okay. Okay. So the topic I'm going to be covering is kind of, giving you tips and, not so much tricks because, to be honest with you, there are no tricks, really. It's basically the work you put in is what you get, right? If you work hard, if you spend time, you get the fruit, right? So that's kind of the trick is, you know. Um, anyway, so I'll be kind of talking about that. So okay, so what I kind of, the way I planned this out is I want to tell you guys, even before thinking about applying for a job, you know, you need to ask yourself, right? A lot of people say that I want this job, you know, oh, this is a good paying job, I want this job, right? But the question you need to ask yourself is, are you ready for that job, right? If you're a business owner, right, you don't want to hire somebody just because they want the job, right? You want to hire them to be able to do certain things, right? Um, and that's exactly what the corporations and the employers are thinking when they're reviewing your resume. What will this person, how will this person contribute to the requirements? So keeping that in mind, you know, you have to have a certain amount of passion for that job. At the same time, you have to have some, you know, skills to back that passion up, right? So in order for that to happen, you need to plan it out, right? You need to plan it out way ahead. The earlier you plan, the better it is, right? So that's why a lot of times I work with high school students as well as people who haven't graduated yet from university, right? So a big focus of my time when I do volunteer goes to those people because it's easy for them. I mean, the one thing is at that age and at that point in time, a lot of those students don't realize how important it is for them to start building these core competencies and skills, okay? Um, so that's why I kind of work a lot with them and help them understand and get them aware that how important it is to start thinking about those things. Maybe not professionally build those skills and abilities, but at least start thinking about them, start working on a plan to be able to communicate them in an interview or when you're networking or on your resume. Okay, so a couple of things I want to mention in this point is that, you know, core competencies, if you're geared towards often, generally, if you are interested in leadership, then you got to build core competencies, right? You've got to be able to come up with KPIs or be able to manage resources, and very important to have persuasive communication skills. Okay, and then if you're kind of you want to work in a domain and be like a subject matter expert, then there's other things that you have to be specialized in, such as maybe develop something in Python, use Python to set up AWS services, or use Java for that integrates with another application, something unique. Be able to run Monte Carlo simulation to do a risk analysis, or use R to predict something, Tableau to be able to provide some sort of financial information. Okay, so kind of like, I don't know how many of you are in university or just recently graduated, but depending on when you're looking for jobs, you can keep these things in mind and kind of list them out on your resume. That could help you out a bit there, but you have to plan it out. You have to kind of start building these competencies and skills from a very early start. So that's kind of the punchline here, okay? And then obviously when you plan it out, you gotta walk the path, right? You gotta learn those. So if you're kind of the new people, then you can use like, you know, your capstone, your final projects, your thesis, your voluntary experience, community experience, you know, maybe you helped in a fundraiser. You kind of use those things to show that you have certain core competencies, or you specialize in resource management, and you know, and I think Brother Wahab will talk more in detail about how to put these things on your resume. You know, and then similarly, if you want to be towards the SME side, you can use short courses, certification, technical program, you know, that those kind of things to kind of you know, learn those skills. Okay. The other thing I want to mention is, you know, a lot of times people say that, oh, I'm gonna try to look for a job at Microsoft, and they live in Florida, right, or they live in the UK. You know, what happens is when a lot of times these corporations are looking at resumes, they want to hire, their first preference is to look locally, right? Because obviously if somebody's already locally set up, you know, it's easier to hire them. Only if they need those rare skills that are not offered in that local community, then they will go out and reach out, right? Or even if you get an interview, they will give you those points if you know you offer something more than the local person. So my advice is to start making a list of your local companies first, and then kind of, you know, going through their websites and kind of seeing, you know, what kind of jobs are they offering, and what kind of you're looking for, and kind of match that criteria with them, right? The other thing I see is that many people, and that kind of happened to me too, right? Initially, when I looked for jobs, I wouldn't know. Like, I would apply for SpaceX, right? And there's a company right here, Aptio, a great company, a smaller company, and they talked to me. And I didn't even know where the company was. And I said, no, I'm not even going to go through the hassle of an interview because, you know, I just don't know. And they said, okay, if you do interview with us, this is kind of our ranges. And that range was like, you know, 30 times more than the SpaceX range. But in my mind, I was like, no, SpaceX is a well-known company. I don't even know where Aptio is. But, you know, Aptio was like less than a mile away from me. So anyway, the thing is, a lot of times there's so many things around you, but you kind of tend to ignore them or not pay as much attention just because they're not well known. And smaller companies have more opportunities to grow, as well as in many occasions they offer better benefits than a lot of the bigger companies as well. So that's kind of my 2 cents over there. I'm going to move on. Now that, you know, let me just go back. Now that you have, you know, you worked it out and you kind of list out your core competencies, or, you know, over your early age in school, or, you know, a new job, you have learned some of the skills, you know, you want to think that, okay, now I'm ready to apply, okay? So once you have those down, then you got to kind of pursue aggressively. You got to look out to, like I said, you know, make a list, talk to people, network, you know, and then, but make sure that you apply to specific jobs that really, you know, that you think you can contribute towards, right? So that's the key thing. You should be able to contribute to a job that you're applying to. You got to show value, that you're going to bring something to the table. You're going to provide some sort of a value to the project or to the group that you're applying into, right? I highly discourage resume spamming. A lot of times what people do is if they're applying for Microsoft, in their summary, they say, I'm a motivated individual looking for a project manager position at Microsoft, and I have these kind of core competencies, blah, 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 in their resume, right? All people will do is change that Microsoft to Amazon when they're applying to Amazon, and change the Amazon to Boeing when they're applying to Boeing, and not kind of reading what the requirements are, or what they're actually looking for, the core competencies they are requiring. Another comment I do want to make here is a lot of times, people don't realize that there's all these Fortune 500 companies. They have kind of a three-layer system of resume analyzation, right? They use the same program that universities use to catch papers that are plagiarized. The way it works is you submit a resume, they take your resume, and they convert it into binary numbers, and then they take the description, the JD job description, convert that into binary, and then they see the amount of match the two have, right? And the more, in the case of a resume analyzation, the system, the more binary match you have, the better chance of your resume going to the second stage is, right? It's kind of very, computerized nowadays, because you get thousands of resumes and humans don't have that much time. You're paying $60, $70 an hour to an HR person. You don't want them to be sitting there for months just reviewing the resumes. So what the computer system does, it filters out the people that haven't really paid attention, or doesn't fit the description of a job. Once that happens, one time I was talking to an HR person, and they were telling me the statistic. They said that, okay, if 1,000 people apply, the computer system will filter out about more than 900 resumes right there, just because the binary wasn't 80% match or 85% match, whatever threshold they pick. So you got to keep in mind that each time you're applying for a job, you really have to spend time and customize your resume according to the requirements of the JD. Okay, so again, going back to my initial comment, it's pretty plain and simple. The more time you invest in it, the better chances you have. And honestly, I mean, I see people not spending a lot of time in this. So if you can't spend like 4 hours, 10 hours on building your resume, then I don't think you're good enough to work 8 hours in an office, because you don't have that focus and concentration, right? Okay. So looking for job on various websites, you need to be able to, I mean, a lot of these platforms are pretty common. A lot of times people go to the temp companies, as in the U.S., they give them their information, their resume, and then they kind of do the nitty-gritty work, where they're looking at your resume and finding your core competencies from your resume and kind of searching it. But you can also do that. And personally, depending on what stage in life you are, I always liked going out there myself and applying on the websites of the companies, rather than going to a third party and having them do it. The one benefit I see is that the more time you spend on your resume, the better you'll be prepared to present yourself in an interview. You will know exactly what you wrote, how you wrote it, and on a resume is just a piece of paper. You can't write your whole life in a resume, but you can put pointers that can resonate to your life events, right? And then that kind of, you know, helps you build the story if you do get an interview. Okay? Communicate explicitly, right? Once you get all the stuff done, what I just told, you know, then when you do get the opportunity to an interview or to network or to meet somebody who has the ability to give you a job or help you out, you have to make a mark. You know, you have to show them, represent yourself in a way that they will remember you. When I go to the university events, you know, in 1 hour, I'm meeting about, you know, 70 odd, you know, graduates or soon to be graduate people. It's really hard for me to remember who is what, you know. So you need to do something, you know, that will make people remember you in a positive way, right? A good example could be that, hey, I have a 4.0, I'm about to graduate, I have a 4.0 or a 3, even a 3.5, you know, from the university, but my project, my final project, capstone project was in blockchain technology, right? Or it was in R. I used R to predict who is going to be the next president, you know. So something like that. And then you can back it up. You can back up your conversation with like, okay, this is what I did. These are the algorithms I created. These were the data points I consumed in the model. You know, have those kind of conversation that will make them remember you. Just saying, hello, how are you? What is your company about? I'm looking for this, you know. This is not going to get you over the line. So it's very important to make a mark that the other person remembers you. Provide a full story. Now, that's also a really powerful thing. It shouldn't, like, even if you're networking, you're in an interview or on your resume, you should be able to write things or talk things in a way that they're not too short and they're not too much detail, right? You have to be very precise, right? A lot of times I see people list out their duties on their resumes and or the things that they have done, you know. The way to do it is kind of like in one bullet point, you should be able to communicate that this was the situation, this is what I did, and this was the result. Let me quickly think of an example. Something like, I worked, so this is kind of for students, I'm thinking, right? I worked in a restaurant, and I analyzed the steps that the waiters were taking. Okay. So steps waiters were taking were reduced by 10%. That resulted in a business benefit of $200, right? This is just the one bullet point, but this kind of tells you a story that the restaurant was in trouble, the person did this, and the result was in a business benefit of $200 per day. And if you're like, you know, if you're a developer, you could say that used XYZ algorithm that helped, you know, create the code in one day, which resulted in cost savings of $5,000. So something where there's a verb in it, there's an action in it, and it's all about you, you know. It should always be about you on a resume or in person when you know you're talking to these kind of people. Keep in mind, you know, a lot of times we are taught, don't say I, don't be too proud, don't be too proud. But, this is one occasion where it's just you, and it should be just you, because you are selling yourself. So you have to make that mark, you have to tell a story, and then you have to back it up with a trajectory, right? What that means is that you have to have done the hard work that I talked about here in order to be able to back your stories up, back your skills up. The reason I can create a SaaS model is because in university I did this, that helped me figure out how to use SaaS with Python and come up with these kind of things. These kind of things come heavy. So that's what I was saying initially. There's tricks, but you have to be able to do the hard work in order to get that fruit, right? You need to know these things, okay? So let's move on. Job finding resources. Personally, I like Glassdoor a lot because it's kind of, quite easy, and they have the keywords that I use. For example, data scientist that uses R or Tableau or SAP. They are very they get me the accurate jobs that I am kind of looking for. But LinkedIn has taken off significantly in the past, I think, couple of years. In recent times, I am getting spammed through, LinkedIn, and I think if you're in the job market right now, LinkedIn is probably your best bet. I think one of the brothers is going to be talking about making a good LinkedIn profile, so really pay attention to that, because this is the tool that a lot of companies are using. And in the last 2 days, I got 4 requests, from various companies. One of them is from Tesla. I may look into that. But yeah, LinkedIn is taking off really really good right now. For young students, I would say that actually, this is another conception that a lot of people have, that the mid-level workforce cannot go attend those career fairs. So I highly recommend keeping an eye on the career fairs in the universities. And for students, they have this amazing resource available to them in the Career Center. In the Career Center, they not only help you build your resume, but also tell you, what companies are hiring students. So, when I was in my second year of undergrad, I kind of started using those resources, and that's actually how I got a few of my internships, right, through the Career Center. And then, obviously you have career fairs a couple of times a year or once a year. A lot of the resources are given there. A lot of the companies are there. So those students can take advantage of that. And then for those folks who are currently in the market, they have graduated a while ago, currently in the market, they can also go to those career fairs, not to look at the jobs that are for the student or for the early graduate people, but also, just think about this. The people that are there representing the companies, they are, in often cases, they're the same people that will be hiring for mid-level jobs or, in some cases, senior-level jobs as well. If not, they work in the same department as those people. So they know kind of, what are the resources, what are their current openings, what people can be connected to you if you are looking for that kind of a mid-level job, right? So take advantage of these kind of resources. Okay, job fairs. A lot of times, and that's a good platform as well. Companies get together, or one company would book Hilton and kind of have their job fair, kind of have their exhibition of the different technologies they have and blah, blah, blah. So you can kind of go to them as well. You can find out about these events by just simply Googling, Anaheim Job Fair. I just Googled Anaheim Job Fair, and I got the whole schedule for where they're, what the dates are, what the location is, and, if there's a fee to enter the door. Most 99% there is no fee. It's just free. They want to hire good people. And it goes back to you. Are you motivated enough to go and explore those resources? In often cases, people aren't. They don't want to leave their computer screen. They think that this is the new day and age where they can get everything done by the screen, right? But in some cases it's true, but in a lot of cases it's not true. So you should one of the things I like to do personally is keeping all my options open at all times, right? Or until the last second where I have to make the decision. I explore everything, whatever comes my way or wherever I want to go. Don't be hesitant. Don't think that, oh, they're going to say I don't have any skill. That's never the case. No professional organization would do that. And if somebody does, then you shouldn't consider them as an employer anyways, right? So be open-minded. Be, a lot of times in an interview, a person would do really bad in an interview. When me and my team are interviewing people, a lot of times, their answers aren't that great, right? But the amount of confidence they have is amazing, right? So a lot of times you can, you look at a person, you look at their academic background, and it's not that great, but they have a lot of confidence. They have good communication skills. So, and then you're looking for a technical person. You obviously wouldn't hire that person for that job, but you are hiring another position that's for maybe communication inspector or something that will, something, or a coordinator or a requirements gatherer. You would advise them to apply for that position, and that has happened to me a lot, right? Many times I am approached through LinkedIn. And then they talk to me, and then they hear me, and then they say, "Oh, you're applying for," and that's kind of my trajectory. A lot of times I apply for senior positions, but then they say, "Oh, you have a good background to be at the next level, and we can help you, get an interview in that." So kind of bear that in mind when you're applying, to kind of connect, be able to network with people, kind of make a mark at these job fairs, and just be confident. Be confident. One of the ways you can increase your confidence is by having those core competencies and skills, right? A person who have skills and core competencies, you can tell by the way that they represent themselves, right? The way they're talking, the way the examples they're giving. So again, going back to the same thing, that you really have to work these things out. You need to build those things. Okay. Um, the other thing I kind of wanted to mention here is temp agencies, right? A lot of I mean, obviously, if you're on, you're a foreigner in U.S., then you have to go through companies. You have to go through companies that will help you get that visa. But there's local companies as well. If there's someone who is a green card or a U.S. Passport holder, they can't find a job. It's been a while. They can also go to those temp companies. There's at least one or two in every city that they can help you find a job. You would not get the exact ideal job that you may want, but there are those resources available. One thing I notice is a lot of times people have the U.S. citizen and green card, and they're working for some of the contracting companies. My advice is to kind of put in the hard work, apply directly to the jobs, and kind of see if they can hire you full time rather than bringing in a contract company, because they take they take some time as well. Okay. Company websites, I already mentioned that. Okay. Last slide, things not to do. One size doesn't fit all. A lot of people think that they can use one resume. I kind of already talked about that. Listing duties instead of accomplishments. I talked about that you got to be able to put the story on a resume so that people can remember. Not cutting too much and not being too short when you're talking or when you're doing it in resume. Putting verbs on your resume is very important, like what you did, I did this, I did that, kind of selling yourself, okay? And then leaving a good impression, good professional impression. There's some resources that, you can utilize and learn a little bit more about the subject. I kind of, just talk in general. So that's kind of my 2 cents. That's what I have. Are there any questions?
Brother, Jazakallah khair, Brother Sarim. Inshallah, we'll take question at the end so that all the 4 speakers can come in and kind of give their own, give their opinion and their advice to the brothers, inshallah. So let's move on to inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah, I got feedback on your slide that one of the brothers said, mashallah, so much there in his slides. So Jazakallah khair for spending time and creating these slides. So inshallah, we'll share these slides, of course, with the members, inshallah, once the session is done. So Brother Sarim, inshallah, I would like to now, welcome Brother Abdul Wahab to the session, inshallah. I'll pass the ball to him, inshallah. We would love you to stay, and inshallah, at the end of the session, we can maybe in like 40 minutes, we'll take Q&As, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Brother Abdul Wahab, I am going to inshallah pass you the ball now. Jazakallah khair. Okay. Okay, here you go. Passing you the ball, and I am going to unmute you in a minute. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, you can talk now.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Dawood.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair for joining in and all your efforts. Please go ahead, share your screen, and we can get started. So our next topic, which Brother Abdul Wahab is going to cover, is about the tips and tricks for phone and face-to-face interview. Alhamdulillah, he has good amount of experience. Brother Abdul Wahab, please go ahead, give your introduction. Inshallah, we would love to hear from you. So I'm going to just go on mute, and inshallah, you can get started. I'll let you know when I can see your screen.
Just give me 1 minute here. Okay.
Are you having any trouble?
Yes, I'm trying to. I downloaded the FCC thing, the zip file, and after that, do I?
Let me see. Let me check your status. Becoming okay. Say okay. Let me try one more time. Okay. How about now?
Download to be presenter. So I just downloaded it, and then go to your downloads and it. Because it seems to work after much. I think I'm almost there. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Jazakallah khair.
As the presenter.
Okay, I'll let you know when I can see your screen.
Okay. Almost there.
Yes, you are now a presenter. All right, I can see your screen.
Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes, I can see your screen. Jazakallah khair. Please go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Inshallah, I'll be on mute. I am very much excited about your part 2. So let's see how we can give an effective interview. Yeah. Sure.
All right, sounds good. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. All praises are due to Allah, and peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Thank you so much, Brother Sarim Bhatti, for giving a very good and a very beneficial talk on the interview, how to prepare for it, and how to look for a job. That was so good. Thank you so much. And I have a limited time, so let me go a little bit fast. And the purpose of my interview would be how you can prepare yourself for an interview. Okay, and this a lot of you may already know about it, but this is just a kind of like a reminder to all of us, and definitely, inshallah, we can benefit from this. That's what I thought, and then made this slide. So when we give an interview, before that, let me just give a little bit introduction about me. My name is Abdul Wahab, and I am working in a company called Performant, California-based. I'm working there as a DevOps engineer. Also, I've been working in IT since more than 10 years. Started with sysadmin, Linux, Unix kind of thing, and then moved into infrastructure side, virtualization, cloud computing, and now in DevOps. And also, I like to voluntarily train people if they're going for a face-to-face interview or a phone interview. And this is my email, wahab@americantalenthub.com. Okay, so this is my introduction. And let's get straight into the subject without any delay. So, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for joining. You are here. That means that you have a motivation towards, giving your best in an interview. For an interview, if there's a job out there in the market, obviously the employer would want to get the best candidate. Okay, and sometimes we are the best, but we just don't know how to present ourselves the way they want us to be. right? We may be technically very sound. We may know their whole environment, and we feel when we read the requirements that this is something which I can do. This is something which I've already done in my previous workplaces, and I can really take this thing very easily. But there are some of the things which count, unfortunately. So and that is what my focus would be today. I'm not gonna get into the technical aspect of any job, but the soft skills and the way we present ourselves, that is what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so let's say you see a job requirement. Okay, you see on Dice or Monster or Indeed, right? Or as Brother Sarim mentioned, Glassdoor. Or sometimes you are enrolled into some of the recruiters' mailing list, and then you get the job requirements, and then you see the job requirement. Okay, so the first thing what you wanted to do is just go carefully. They are some of the points which they mention right on top, right? That they are looking for, this specific skill, and then another skill, and then another skill, and then you will see almost like 8 to 10 bullet points, right? So the first few, those are the most important points. Okay, that is what really matter to the employer, okay, or a recruiter. So once you see that, yes, these are some of the things which I know. Either when you see the requirements, either you know those roles and responsibilities. The second chance is you kind of like you're familiar with them. Okay, and the other possibility is that you don't know them, but you feel like you can just go through those things quickly, and you can make yourself familiar with it. Or possibility is that you really don't know those things. Okay, and even if you wanted to do it, you cannot do it. For example, for me, I'm from the infrastructure background. If somebody if in requirements, if it says to code something like Java or something, I really don't know it. I can get familiar with it, but that's not my cup of tea, right? So when you see the requirements, just scan through it and say that yes, I know these things, and there are some of the things which I don't know, but I can get familiar with it. Okay, so now before applying to that particular job, do not send your resume straight from your folder. Never do that. Okay, that's why when we send our resume which doesn't relate to that job requirements, what happens is we will not get any reply. Because as Brother Sarim mentioned, these recruiters, the hiring departments, they have these softwares. Again, they search with the keywords. And usually these recruiters, they're not technical. Okay, so if you mention something which is similar to that, they would not be able to relate to that. Okay, so all they do is they put our resume aside, and we never get a call. And we wonder why nobody's calling me, right? Because you didn't put that stuff, what they're looking for, in your resume, even though you know that, right? So that's the second thing. Update your resume. Just make sure that what they're asking, there could be the stuff what they're asking, you do on your work, but you didn't put it on your resume. Because you cannot put everything there, right? So maybe you have seen one of the job, and you saw the requirements, you put some stuff there, and that's it. You didn't touch your resume at all. That shouldn't be the case. For every single position what you apply, you must update your resume, and that's how your resume will be picked. And I'm not saying that if you don't know that, still you're putting in your resume. Don't do that. Okay, that's not the way. What I'm saying is, if you know those skills, if you have worked it, right, maybe that is buried in your resume, maybe in like, in the 30th line or in the 50th line, or maybe on the 5th page of your resume, right? You have to bring that on top, because that's what they're looking for, right? So that is one thing. The second thing is, there are some of the things which which you haven't done it, right? But you can quickly go through online and, just Google that, read about it, just see how it works, and then you can put it on your resume saying that you're familiar with it, okay? And that will get those words, those keywords in the resume, okay? And you're not bluffing about it. You read about it, you saw it, and then you're familiar with it, you Googled it, you probably YouTubed it, you saw it, how it works, and then that's when you have added that skill on your resume. Okay, now you have your resume with all those key skills. Now you approach the recruiter or the hiring department. Now I mentioned that make an effective contact with them. What exactly does that mean? It means that you send your resume and you write a little bit about yourself. Okay, you just don't attach that resume and then just click send. You don't do that. You give a little bit of your introduction. Okay, maybe like 2-3 lines. It doesn't take that much of time. Give a little bit of introduction about yourself, and just say that you're really interested in this in this job, and this is my contact details. Once you send that resume, just look for maybe like half an hour, 1 hour, couple of hours. If you don't hear, usually these recruiters, you could pull out their number. Okay, either when they send you the requirements, it's there, or on the job portal like Dice or somewhere, they put their contact number. If not, then you can take the company name, put it on Google, and then get their contact information and reach out to that recruiter. Okay, and talk to that person. Say that you forwarded the resume. Okay, did he received it, or just wanted to make sure that you have you've received my resume, and that is the starting conversation. So have a little bit, talk about yourself, talk about your experience, and talk effectively. Show that person your communication skills. You can talk better. Because the reason why I'm saying is the recruiter or the HR department is the key to get into your job place. Because if you impress this person that you're technically skilled, you have better communication skills, you can perform, this person is going to talk to the hiring manager, right, the employer, and he's going to tell a lot about you. Okay, so this is what does when you make a personal contact. You do something more than just an email. Just tell them, just talk to them, say that you've this much of experience, you're looking for this, and you've sent your resume, you know all of these skills which they're looking for, or if not all, most of it, you're familiar with this and that. So once you impress your recruiter, he or she is gonna go and talk to the company, and then that's where you have more chances than just sending your resume. Okay, and then comes once the client likes your resume, right? And then that's how they set up the interview. A lot of times we think that we have sent resume to so many recruiters or on the job on the Dice and all of those things. What we usually do is we have a resume in our folder. We go onto these websites, we just say apply, and we use the same resume all the time. This is what happens most of the time with even me. At the beginning, this is what I used to do, and then I used to wonder why nobody's calling me, right? So this is a very basic thing which we can adopt and make sure that whenever we apply, update resume, learn a little bit about the skills what they're asking for. Even if you don't know, just get familiar with them, right? And then you forward it, and then have an effective contact with the recruiter, with the hiring department. Talk to them, make a personal contact with them. If you don't hear from them after a couple of days, just send a follow-up email asking that I just wanted to follow up. Is there any update from your side? And all of those things. Just make a contact, because you do not have visibility at the company level. You do not know the person, the hiring manager, or you cannot even contact them, right? So the only way to progress in this job hunt is to get hold of these recruiters. Okay, and for every different job, make sure that you update your resume for those particular requirements. Put that in your resume, right, and then forward your resume. Okay, so these are a quick 4 steps. And then after that, now it's the time for the interview. The interview, either it will be a phone interview or a face-to-face interview. Okay, so let's go first to the phone interview. phone interview, what do you do, when you're doing a phone interview? Now the recruiter calls you and says that, hey, they wanted to interview you. Okay, and now you say, you ask the time and everything, and then now you're ready. Okay, so before you do that, make sure that you prepare yourself for the interview. Now, half of the work is done. You've got the interview slot, right? Now, still there's half work left. Okay, do not take it for granted. Okay, so you have interview scheduled, maybe like after 24 hours. Just take your time out. If you have any appointments, cancel those things. Sit, where you do not, where nobody disturbs you, right? And then start preparing for that. Just look for those requirements, prepare accordingly. Look for those requirements, see what they're looking for, and then prepare for it, right? And if you have your notes from your, what you've written, just refer to those notes, right? And if you do not know some of the things, Google that, get familiar with it, read their definition, see how it works, so that, when you talk in interview, you shouldn't be saying that I don't know, right? So it's okay to say I don't know for some of the things, but not for everything, not for most of the things, right? So take your time, prepare yourself for the interview, and cancel whatever appointments you have, and whatever it is, just dedicate your time completely. If you get 2 days for the interview, that's very good. Usually these people, they give a 24-hour window, right? So sit and relax and just concentrate on this one, and then prepare for the interview. And the next day, whatever it is, dial in on time, okay, and announce your name, right? Once you dial in, usually it's like a conference call where they give you the code to enter, or it could be, they call you, it could be anything. So be prepared for that. And once you answer the call, announce your name, that hi, I'm Muhammad. And when asked, introduce yourself. So how would you introduce yourself? I'm going to talk that in a minute. Remember the names of the interviewer and respond to them with their names. Okay. So let's say if there are 3 people join in on the call, make sure that you listen to their names keenly. And if you don't remember, write it down. Okay. And then whenever you talk to them, respond them with their name. Because this is very important, because when you respond somebody with their name, they feel very good. Okay. And you will take their attention as well. Okay. So when asked, introduce yourself, how would you introduce yourself? You say your name, and then you talk a little bit about yourself and your experience. Okay. And you say that you have 5 years of experience or 3 years of experience in this specific thing. And then what you do is what they're looking for, try to talk about those things. Okay. So if they put down in the requirements, we want A, B, C, do not talk about X, Y, Z, because it's irrelevant to them, right? So if you start talking about X, Y, Z, after a minute, they will get bored and they will interrupt you, okay? Because they are looking only for ABC, okay? So talk to them about ABC, right? And then keep your introduction somewhere between 2 to 4 minutes, not like 10 minutes, okay? So just maybe like 2 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You briefly talk about yourself and the work experience, your past work experience, and that too, it should be related. It must be related what they are looking for. Okay, and then give them a pause, and then they will talk about themselves, their environment, what they're looking for, this and that, and then they will be asking you questions. How did you do this? How did you do that? And then that's where you answer them effectively. Okay, whatever they're asking, you just say that this is how I did. Okay, and make sure that you do not take the whole credit what you have done. Obviously, as a primary person, you tell them, but there are instances when you use I did this thing, and there are instances when you use we did this as a team. Okay, so make sure when to differentiate, when to say you have done something, and as a team we have done something. There are some of the things that have you for example created an instance on the cloud, an EC2 instance or whatever it is. Yes, we did it. That would not work because they are looking for your particular skill, right? And they wanted to know that have you done that. So you can use I have done these things, I've done that thing, this and that. And when it comes to like obviously like a teamwork, how did you execute this specific project, right? So you don't take the whole credit on you because obviously it's a team effort. So you say that we have done this, we have done that, right? So just make sure that when you differentiate that is very important. Be honest. Okay, so nobody knows 100% of stuff, right? Even the one who is interviewing you, they don't know 100%, right? So be honest. If you have done something, you say you have done it. There are some of the things which you don't know, and those are company specific. Their own software or their the stuff what they use, and you don't see that somewhere else. You have not worked on it, right? And you have no idea, and that is fine. Okay, you don't need to know all the bullet points what they've mentioned, all of those things. You don't need to know that. Even if you know like 6 or 7 out of that, that is fine. Once you go there, they will train you for that, right? So yeah, so do not be honest. Just say that if you know this thing, yes, I know and I can do it. If you if you familiar with it, just say that yes, I am familiar with it, this is how it works, and I'm confident that I can take that and I can work on it with a little bit of learning. I can do that. I'm familiar with it, right? All of those things. So be honest, right? And if they ask you some question, do not dodge those questions, right? So have you done this? So you're saying that I've worked on this thing, that thing, and then you're escaping that question. Do not do that. If you do not know, just say that this is what it is. And as I said, always respond with their names. Okay, there are 2-3 people interviewing you, like maybe Dan or Richard or John. Once you talk to them for a few minutes, you will understand who is asking you that question. Just make that connection. Okay, now person 1 asked me the question, person 2 and person 3, and make that connection. You will get it once you are on a call. Within like 5 minutes or so, you will know that whose voice is whom. Yeah. Right. So just try your best. Okay, try your best. And usually they're like only 1 or 2% will speak more from the interviewing side, right? So just remember their names and then respond them with their names. Okay. So once that is done, they ask you the questions. It's done, and then now they ask you, do you have any questions? Okay. So this is your time. Do not say that no, I'm okay. I do not have any questions. Do not say that, right? Try to ask them some questions about their environment. How do they do this? And what about this? Do you have these softwares? How do you take care of this? How many servers do you have in your environment? And do we do like a 24/7 support? How's the on-call rotation works? How many people are there in your team and stuff like that? So try to ask few questions, like maybe 2 to 3 questions that may take a minute or 2, right? And after that, and then once that is done, they say that okay, we'll get back to you, this and that. Then conclude your interview by thanking them and with a desire to join. This is very important because now you are at the end of the call, and now you wanted to leave an impression, which will help you, right? So thank them for taking the interview because they took out time, they gave you a slot, right? All of them, they're there together just for you to interview you, right? So thank them for that. I really appreciate, I really thank, for giving me this time for interviewing me, right? Just thank them, and then a desire to join. Leave that thought with them, right? Just make them feel that you need this job. right? And you really like this job, okay? And you may, add a line something like, if given a chance, I would perform to the best of my ability, right? If given a chance, I will perform to the best of my ability. I really thank you for this interview, taking my interview, and if given a chance, I will perform to the best of my ability. So this is something which will make them feel that yeah, this guy, he really wanted to work here, right? And he is determined, and he wants to contribute to the team. At the end of the day, that is what they want. They want they want somebody who will come in their team and who knows not, if not everything, most of the thing, and ultimately he will help us in our team, right? Because they're swamped with the work. That's why they're looking for somebody. They've requested for a budget, and they've done all that thing just to hire you, right? And then all they want is that you come in, right, and then start helping them. That is what they want. Okay. So these are 1 second. Okay. Yeah. So these are some of the things when you are on the call, and all of them, they're observing you, and this is how you carry yourself and respond. Okay. So this is regarding the phone interview. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Now face-to-face interview. Okay. So how do you do a face-to-face interview, right? And obviously, when you do a face-to-face interview, there are more dynamics which comes, with you. On the phone, it's just your voice. But when you go on a face-to-face interview, it's a different game. Okay, so just give me 1 second here. Okay, so I think Brother Dawood, I think how many more minutes do I have, Brother Dawood?
See if you can wrap up in 5-6 minutes, inshallah.
Sure.
That should work. Yeah. You need more time?
No. I think I should be able to cover that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
No problem. You're welcome.
1 second. All right. So I was not looking at the chat. I'm not sure if you guys are liking it or getting bored. How are you guys doing? Are you guys doing okay? So is my speed okay? Am I going too fast? All right, guys. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do the full screen, so I will not be looking at the chat window for a few more minutes. Okay, so yeah. So how would you dress? The reason why I've put this photo is because these people are overdressed for the interview, right? So this is not how you go to the interview. So how would you find out what to wear for the interview? Okay. So let me just go to the next slide. Let me close this chat window. Yeah, here comes the face-to-face interview. Dress appropriately. How would you dress? Find out the dress code. Okay, groom yourself. So usually, a lot of workplaces, they have a business casual kind of a dress. Okay, that's like a polo t-shirt and, with a collar, and you wear like a khaki pants, right? So that is most of the places, that's what it is. Okay, and it differs because when you're going for an interview like a director, that's when you wear a suit, or when you're going for a marketing job, where you have a lot of interaction with people, that requires you to dress up with a suit, with a tie and stuff like that. But most of our jobs, if you're looking in IT, all of those fields, most of them, they have a dress code called business casual. Okay, you can just, I was just Googling that one, so let me show you here. So business casual, something like this, so you have a t-shirt with a collar, and then you have a khaki pant, it's not necessarily the same color. It could be gray color, black color, or any of those things, right? So this is usually, dress code. Okay. Yeah. So. Second. Yeah. So dress appropriately, find a dress code, groom yourself, make sure that you're well trimmed, a haircut, or just dress nicely. Okay. So that when they see you, you should be looking very welcoming. Okay. Be 10 minutes early at your interview location. Do not be late. Make sure that you're there 20-25 minutes early, because you need to find a parking spot, right? And you don't know, it's a new place. You keep your car somewhere, and then you walk in. There's a reception where you ask that you wanted to meet so and so, and then they call them downstairs or whatever it is. It takes a lot of time, right? So just make sure that you are there at least 10 minutes. Okay, so what that means is you reach there at least 25 minutes, 20 minutes early, so that you park your car, and then you walk in, and then you wait in the lobby. Just before 10 minutes, you go to the reception and you say that you wanted to meet so and so. Okay, and that will take 5 minutes. That person would come, and then he will escort you. Okay, and then by the time you go and sit in the interview that room, it will be on time, right? So how would you how would you meet that person who is coming in, who's taking you? Just be very calm, and have a smiley face, right? Just shake your hand with them, and say that, hi, my name is this. Okay, how are you doing, right? And you ask them, how are you doing? You try to be a little bit casual with them, right? Because your interview has not started yet. Now all they're looking for is somebody who is a social person, a good friend, a good colleague, right? Somebody with whom they can chat. They can probably go for an office lunch or something, right? They're not looking for somebody who's who doesn't smile, right? Who is who is not responsive. They're not looking for those people. So this is, now they're looking for all your soft skills, your presentation. How are you as a person, as a colleague, right? How jovial are you? Are you a normal person, right? Because there some people, they're like they're arrogant. They're what do you call, like their temper is very high. They're not looking for those people. Okay, so make sure that you're presentable. You have a smile on your face. You greet them, right? You say, how are you doing, and stuff like that, right? And then remember and address them with their names. Again, it's very important to remember their names and talk to them with their name. Okay, make an eye contact and look at everyone and not just one person. Okay, so now they took you into the room for the interview. There are 3 to 5 people sitting there, and now they start asking you the questions. So how you give the interview, you can go back to the same slide, the phone interview, what we've discussed. You respond them in the same way. But now the new thing, what you need to do is you need to make an eye contact with the person you're talking to, right? And then let's say if there are 3 to 4 people in the room, you do not just look at one person and talk, right? You look at all of those people. You look to all of them, and then you respond in that way. Okay, follow the guidelines which were discussed in the phone interview slide. Be prepared for a lunch invitation. Usually what they do is, if you go to a face-to-face interview, especially for a full-time, right? So what they do is they also, request you to join them for the lunch, So why do they do this, right? They do this because they wanted to see, how well you will gel with them, right? So, because, the work is not just a technical business, okay? They are hiring you, and they will be spending a lot of their day's time with you, right? We spend in the office maybe like 8 to 10 hours, right? And if there's some on-call thing, you work on weekends with them. Sometimes you get stuck with the work with them. You have to work there till 3 a.m. in the morning. You don't know, right? It's like accepting a family member, literally, right? So they take you to the lunch so that they will know you as a person, not a technical person, as a normal person, right? So that's where they take you in, and then they will observe you, how how you talk, how you get along with them, right? And all of those things. So be prepared for a lunch, and be casual. And and in the lunch they would not talk any technical stuff, right? It's a casual thing. So talk about yourself, talk about a little bit about where you live, and and it depends, how how you have you start making relationship with them. Just talk a little bit about your family, this and that, right? So if you feel good, so just carry yourself like a friend with them, while you're out for the lunch, okay? And then again, thank them and show your urge to join. Okay, this is what they will remember, right? At the end of the call, the way you leave them is like you thank them for their time, and then you say that you're really interested in this job. If given a chance, I will perform to the best of my ability, this and that, right? So this is something which which you have to keep in mind when you're doing a phone or a face-to-face interview, right? And then quickly, what not to do. Do not be late. As I said, you have to be there on time, because that's you should not keep others waiting for you. Especially when you are being interviewed, right? Do not present yourself as you know everything. Do not give an impression that if they ask you to rate yourself, don't say that you rate yourself 10 out of 10. Don't do that, right? Do not curse your previous employer. Don't say that they were very bad and they treated me like this, like that, and then that's why I'm leaving them, or they fired me because this, for this reason, they were really bad people. Don't say like that, because they are also a potential employer. And to leave your previous employer with a bad thing, it's not a good thing. So do not interrupt them when they are explaining you something. Wait for your turn. Okay, do not say that they're explaining you. Don't cut them off, right? Let them speak, and then once they're done, then you speak. Do not lie. Whatever you know, just tell them. If you do not know, be sincere. Say that yes, you don't know. Nobody knows 100%, right? So do not discuss about your salary unless they ask you, right? So these are some of the things which you should not do when you're giving an interview. And I think that is it. Back to Brother Dawood. I'm sorry if I took more time, so I am done. Yes.
Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah. Sorry to rush you, but we have so much to cover. This is just the beginning. We covered the half of the presentation or the webinar. Alhamdulillah, I wanted to make this webinar a jam-packed webinar where we can give a lot of knowledge to our brothers. Whether it is interview, whether it is, searching job, whether it is creating a good LinkedIn profile and creating a resume. So we have a lot. So sorry to rush you. But Jazakallah khair, I see, mashallah, your slides are fantastic. There is every detail you have covered is very important for jobs, for interview. So alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khair, inshallah, we will definitely share these slides with our audience. So let's get past. Okay, I have a quick question here for everybody. Do you guys want to take a 5-minute break, or do you all want to continue? Up to you guys. Let me know. Break, or you want me to continue? Break, please. Continue. Okay, break. All right, let's take a 5-minute break, inshallah, and then we can come back, and then we can inshallah get started with Brother Fawaad Khan. Inshallah, he's also wearing fantastic guy. I'm very excited that inshallah he's gonna be here and he will talk about LinkedIn. He is a kind of pro in social media, so you guys need to check this guy out. So Brother Fawaad, be ready, inshallah. People are waiting for you. Jazakallah khair, Brother Abdul Wahab. Stay with us, inshallah. At the end of the session, we will take Q&A, and I need your expertise so that we can answer the questions properly for our brothers and sisters. Jazakallah khair.
Sure, Brother Dawood. Thank you so much.
Let's take a 5-minute break. Let's come back. It's 12:28. Let's come back after 5 minutes, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Meanwhile, those who are already there, who haven't gone back for the break, inshallah, I would like to kind of, if you guys are new to ALMPG platform, I want to show what is ALMPG. Let me know what screen you guys can see. You can see my slides or you can see my browser. Slides. Okay, perfect. So let me kind of, get away from the slides and let me show my other screen. So, okay, let's go. Okay. So those brothers and sisters who are new to ALMPG platform, just a brief introduction about ALMPG. I would like to take this opportunity as we are free. Alhamdulillah, ALMPG was, alhamdulillah, is a platform where we are trying to work and kind of, connect the professionals on one platform, the minorities here in America. The platform is open for anybody, who is a minority in America, irrespective of their caste, color, religion, or, faith. It doesn't matter. So alhamdulillah, it was started just for the Muslim minority, but now alhamdulillah, we have everybody on our platform who are helping us out, or helping the community out. So what you can do on ALMPG, alhamdulillah, we have now close to 7,000 members, 41. I think we need to update this. We have done a lot of webinars, free webinars, posted jobs, and we are helping businesses. So the main thinking behind ALMPG is that if I work in a team and I see that there is a job opening in my team, rather than finding somebody from outside, why don't I give a fair chance to my community member or people who I know? So I just take that job opportunity and put it on ALMPG, and alhamdulillah, our community member get a fair chance to apply for that position. So this is where all it started. We started just with the Google group back in 2014, and alhamdulillah, by 2018, alhamdulillah, last year, in the beginning of last year, around Feb, we launched our platform. So there is a lot you can do on this platform, alhamdulillah, not just posting a job, but if you need any kind of help, kind of you got any question, or there are a lot of jobs posted, internal jobs or direct referred job through recruiters or through trainers. So alhamdulillah, there is a lot you can get from this. And plus, it's a give and take platform where you can help somebody out, and inshallah somebody will help you out, inshallah. And also, in few weeks, inshallah, we'll be starting up our own startup incubator, where inshallah we'll try to help the brothers and sisters who have ideas and kind of groom them, kind of provide them with resources which is required to start their business, or require them to become an entrepreneur. So inshallah, stay tuned for that. And also, where you can get the slides and everything for this webinar, inshallah, let me point it out. You go to the resource tab here, you will see webinar events, right? Click on webinar events, and on those event pages you will see upcoming. This is what we are going on. See, we have upcoming webinar, free webinar or training session on Salesforce and Dockers coming up. But you go in here, you learn more and register, right? That's what you guys did, right? You go in here, I'm already registered for this. So here on this page, I will upload, the team will upload the slides, and inshallah on YouTube you will get the recording. So like past events, you can also go through our past event. We have covered a lot of past events like big data. We were supposed to be in have a career fair in Houston, which was canceled at the end, but we were in Seattle, where I met brother Sarim, alhamdulillah, where he got to know about ALMPG. So a lot more, ALMPG at Muslim Hackathon. So once you kind of go in here, learn, and in the past event, you will see the slides here, down here. You see documents here, just click on that and you will get all the slides and documents. So this is the YouTube, and I believe these are the slides. Yes, these are the slides for this event, big data and Hadoop. So you can find the slides here. Okay, perfect. So I'm sure that I'm clear. And one other thing I want to also point out here, in the resources you have a mentors tab option. Inshallah, if you are a fresher, if you are a mid-level, or if you are somebody who wants to change from switch gear, change from one kind of technology to another, or one field to another, we have some mentors here. So these mentors are, alhamdulillah, trying to help the community out. They kind of tell you that what field, and if you need mentorship in any of these technologies, any of this particular field, inshallah, you can reach out to them. It's all free, inshallah. Talk to them, kind of email them, tell them that you need some time with them. So this is our startup council, which will be starting for entrepreneurs, investors, and volunteers, alhamdulillah. So we are working on this. So stay tuned. We have a lot more. All right, let's get back to our session. All right, brother Fawad, inshallah, I will be unmuting you and I'll pass you the ball. So let's get started. Fawaad Khan, I have unmuted you. See if you can talk.
Assalamu alaikum. Everybody can hear
Wa
me?
alaikum assalam. Yes, I can hear you. Let me pass you the ball. Let me make you the presenter, okay? All right, guys, let's get back. Okay. I'll let you know when I can see your screen. All right, perfect. I can see your screen now. All right, brother Fawad, go ahead. We are excited. Go ahead. Jazakallah.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you doing, my brothers and sisters? Today we are going to have an exciting topic, LinkedIn. It's one of my favorite ones. Okay, introduction first. I'm Fawaad Khan. I am a telecommunications engineer by profession, and I'm from University of Texas at Arlington. I've done my master's course there, and I've learned a lot from the university, from the different experiences that I have in terms of organizations that I've been a part of, and also the different responsibilities that I've been with. And one of them was being internal communications. That's how I came to know about LinkedIn more in detail. And yeah, it has been a exciting journey so far. And I wish to share the same with you all so that you can benefit with the same, inshallah. So let's start. Why LinkedIn? Everybody hears LinkedIn during job fairs, career fairs, from their mentors, from their elders, and many experienced people already in the market. They say you don't have a LinkedIn, and then we try to create a LinkedIn, then we forget. And there are also people who are experienced. They try to create a LinkedIn to find a job. Once they find a job, they forget. It's very important that we need LinkedIn in today's world. So let's see why we need LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn introduces to a new world of possibilities, ideas, where to start. For people who are really new to the job market and really looking into their future, they don't know where to start. So it's really a good place to start. I'll just cover what exactly I mean by that. I have some snapshots in the coming slides. The second one being connect important people intelligently. What do I mean by that? I'll cover in the next slides, but in short, I would say that once you create a LinkedIn, it will ask you for a whole lot of invites, and you try to add a whole bunch of people from maybe people from your email, because it will extract information from your emails if you put your email. But not many will accept because they won't feel like accepting, because they might not be from your area, they might forget you, or things like that. How can you connect to important people intelligently in a more effective way? I'll help you with that, inshallah. Third, access to correct opportunities, because people always say how to know about jobs, how to know about those meetings where you can actually see the experiences of different people who are seniors. and how to go through the different conferences and how to know about all those things. I know that there is social media, there are so many other things, but LinkedIn is the best because it creates a bubble of information just for your um, customized customized bubble for you, so that you can actually have all the things in one place. The bubble contains posts from people who are recruiters, maybe your motivational post from your colleague who recently joined a job, maybe that will motivate you. There's so many other things. It's a really good place to be. Learn important skill sets. For those who don't know, LinkedIn also provides LinkedIn Learning. It's more like a Udacity, Udemy, or Lynda, which is also been acquired by LinkedIn and has a whole lot of courses. Skill sets can be learned through online training, and that can be provided by LinkedIn as well, LinkedIn Learning, to be more precise. Fifth point being, you should know how to brand yourself, because many people around the job market, seniors, juniors, everyone, they will look upon you like, what exactly are you? So when you post yourself on LinkedIn, they'll see what kind of person you are in terms of your qualifications, your certifications. It will be more generic because many people will actually want to know before they hire you as the recruiters or managers, or that's the first go-to place for them. The other things that you can do with LinkedIn is write articles to show how you are active and why they should actually select you and not others. Why are you? What makes you more proactive is the articles and your professional social presence. Lastly, not only for the new people in job market, but also for people who are experienced, we have a whole lot of future possibilities by connecting people and updating profiles, because you know exactly what is going on in the market. Once you are already experienced and you're not updating your profile, it will be really hard on you to just get back to the game, unless your profile is already updated and you know you can work around with that. So this is a typically neglected, obsolete profile of a friend of mine. Please don't take it personally if you're watching this. So usually people try to make a LinkedIn when they are pressured or when they see other people are making, and they don't put a whole lot of stuff. They just create an account and then they think that they will add things when the time is right. But time progresses and they find themselves that it's already late. So we should start now, be strong enough to understand why this is required. So this is a neglected profile. When you can see there is no photo, so this creates a negative image for a recruiter or a senior manager. Like, what? Why is he not having a photo? Is he not professional? Or if I cannot see him, how can I? Pictures do matter a lot. And there is no summary, so I cannot know what exactly his skill set is, what exactly he's made up of. Then we have no qualifications are mentioned except for the university attended, so that also creates a bad name. So this can be, I don't want to brag about myself, but again, this is a good example. It was a quick good example, so I mentioned here. You can see a picture which creates a good image, a smiling good picture of a professional one with a coat or something like that would create a good image, and they can put a smile on someone's face and they can feel welcome to, okay, this is the person I want to hire, or this is a person that can be a part of my team. So that makes sense. Then headline is very important. What exactly are you doing? If you're a student, you would put a graduate student, whatever. Or if you are an intern, you can put here, intern. So this also is really eye-catching headline where you can highlight what exactly you are doing currently. Here, you can put your summary. Summary can be anything from a short para representing yourself, like what kind of person you are, and what are you enthusiastic about, and a short thing about what your skill sets are, so, and what you're looking for. It is really important to have a summary, because sometimes people don't have time to just go through your whole profile unless they are actually hiring you. So in the beginning, just to filter you out, people would just go through your summary. So you can go through mine, check me out on LinkedIn and see what kind of summary I have, and check others from your job area or colleagues who have a good LinkedIn profile. Can be really helpful for you in the future to understand how can this help you. Then followed by this dashboard is ongoing feedback for you. Like if your profile is really good, you will have so many views and so many searches you will have popped up. People, this actually works when you have a good profile, and whenever they type something on the LinkedIn search bar, if your profile pops up for that. For instance, if I'm searching for a software development engineer, recent graduate, as a senior manager, I would just put senior development. I would just put maybe some certain skill set, like maybe a software or something. And if I've done a good project on that, or maybe I have some experience, my name will pop up. And if, like other brothers who have mentioned that being locally in that area is really important, if you have mentioned your place or area, that will also matter. Like my place here is Dallas Fort Worth area. If you are from Washington area, that will be there. So they will be filtering people out based on locally and other things like that. Other things are mentioning your experience. Like you can see if you go down, telecommunications engineer, what you have done, put some pictures. So it makes more sense if you have done some certifications and some pictures stating what work have you done. So they're like, okay, this guy is enthusiastic, and he has done something for his career development as well on his job, and that shows the value that you can bring to the company, or the value that you can bring to whatever you're applying for. So about that, and then we have recommendations. So if you have worked with a professor, if you have worked with a colleague of yours, and or if you have worked with other people in a project in school, you can ask their recommendations, and that will play a really important role to understand what kind of a person you are, and if you are good in a team, and if you can handle things alone all by yourself. At times, time management, team management, all those things can be understood with recommendations alone. The way you can go through recommendations of mine and what I have given to other people to understand much better. Accomplishments is another way that you can portray yourself, the courses that you have taken. I have mentioned courses twice, my bad. Then the honors that you have received, the awards that you have from school, everything matters. If you have been a part of an organization in your school and you have been an officer and you have been awarded for that, that really matters. That shows management skills that you have. And if you have been a part of a hackathon or handling a hackathon, volunteered for something, that shows the zeal and the things to just get things done. Things like those certifications with there is another option for certifications, and if publications, if you have a research paper or something, so that actually brags about your profile and everything. So people who particularly are interested about you, they would be more interested when seeing things like these. They would be like, okay, we are getting so much from a person, and not just the picture and just our resume. A resume is good. Many people put their LinkedIn profiles on their resume as well. The reason being, it's more, I would say LinkedIn is much illustrative resume online that can be available for any kind of filtering or more recognition. So the first one, I'll just highlight short examples of what I meant. Introducing a new world of possibilities, where to start. So if you're new and you don't know, maybe you are planning to be a software development engineer. On the search bar, if you type software development engineer, there will pop up 2 options or more, in jobs or in people. So you want to see yourself as a software development engineer. The best place would be searching in people, how they came to be software development engineers. So by that, I mean this. This is a test case. This is a connection of mine on LinkedIn, who's working in Amazon, who lives in Plano, Texas. That is my area, that is nearby. So I tried to find people who are nearby so that I can speak to them more comfortably and have more better access so that they can mentor me, or I can be in their shoes to understand what I mean. I can imagine myself in their shoes, see their profile, how they have become from a student all the way to a software development engineer. So just check the summary, the highlights, all the things that we actually should have in our profile. We check with that. Now work on that. You can have many courses online taken from Udacity, Udemy, W3 schools. So yeah, to connect important people intelligently, we should understand not everybody will actually add you. So sometimes it's important the way you communicate, and things will make more sense. So maybe if he's a Muslim brother, he can actually say salam. Assalamu alaikum, I'm a enthusiast so and so, looking to grow myself professionally, would like your advice regarding the same. I too reside in the same area as yours. Could we meet up, possibly speak sometime on the phone? And that brother was kind enough to reply me back. But most of the time what we do is we just accept, or we just send an invite without actually knowing the person, going through his profile, or without actually drafting a message. So sometimes it's really hard, and it will most of the times it will be a reject. People won't accept. But if they accept and they don't speak to you, it's on us, because we have not initiated the conversation. So this can be a good way. So whenever you add, there is an option that pops up to add a note or a personal message before you add. So that comes very handy. I have mentioned the jobs. There is a no, I have mentioned about the people, and you can see that the different companies' requirements or anything that come for the jobs. I've by mistakenly highlighted the people. For jobs, if you search, you will know exactly what they're looking for, but that usually is not the 100% of what they are looking for. So you can actually contact your mentors in people whom you have met or spoken about to help yourself in getting prepared. Let me show you my profile so that it becomes takes more. So this is my profile, typical LinkedIn profile. You can see my image, then the title that I just mentioned. You can add more profile sections. We have summary, whatever you have done, what certifications you have. In short, I have mentioned whatever I can. So you can also mention the same. But then you have views on your profile that you can see, okay, I have to improve my profile from here. This will be private. This will be just shown to you, not to others. And then we have articles. I have wrote a bunch of articles. This was my internship, so I wrote something about internship, and it was really good. People liked it. And this was from volunteering back from my university. So you just write a whole bunch of stuff so that people know exactly what what you're doing, what's your life about, and if it's really worth it hiring you or being, taking you in as a team member. So again, coming back, the other approaches apart from LinkedIn, I mean, it's not a part of LinkedIn, but again, I've seen that this has been more effective. LinkedIn should be there in place because at some point of time, even if it's a word of mouth, if they have selected you, they will come across a situation where they will check your LinkedIn. So first approach should be, this should be actually the first approach. Look for events nearby. You go to the masjid nearby anyway, so you just meet people after prayers and ask them, introduce yourself, let them know that you need help, and then you can take it from there. I mean, there are many good brothers who want to help you out, but it's just that you need to ask. Networking is, I would say, 90% of importance in getting your job. Myself personally, I got my first job after my Asr Salah probably. I spoke to a brother and he told me that there is a job. So I was like, okay, if you can send me an email, I can look into that. And I really liked the job, and that was my first one. And I have like 8 to 9 close friends of mine, and 8 of them out of 9 got the jobs from word of mouth. So it's important that you network with people. It's something we are lagging behind as Ummah. We try to stray away. We try to apply online, and there is no reply. There are other ways of connecting people, and more effective ones. Meeting them personally, showing your face, creates a good impression, and shows your interest in actually pursuing something. Also in schools, where there are career development centers, career fairs, there are conventions, tech fairs, they can actually help you a lot. As the other brother has already mentioned in the previous session, that he has seen people who have come to job fairs. He has seen people who have come to the job fairs, and he has seen them personally, how they speak, the way they interact is really important. So we have to prepare for that as well, because anyways we just go with the flow. As a part of university, you see that many friends of yours have attended the convention or gone through the career fairs, but you are afraid, and things like these arise that, yeah, just in my first year I won't prefer going now, maybe I'll go in the last year. I would really encourage all of us to go from the first year onwards, because you will have an experience how things would be, understand, and maybe that experience can add up for the next time that you meet them. And who knows, you can secure an internship or a job. Some of the examples that I've already mentioned here is NSB. It's a personal favorite of mine. It happens once in a year. It's a convention, and it's definitely worth it. I've learned a lot speaking to. This is an excellent opportunity, because you get to speak to the managers directly. And I mean, although I have not secured a job from the career fair, I've seen many friends who have. So alhamdulillah, the way you interact with people will really improve once you go to the different career fairs. And even if you are nervous about speaking about getting a job, you can just go the first time, speak to the different managers and ask them what exactly they look for candidates, and what exactly do they look in the students to get them hired. What exactly are they looking for? What opportunities they have? Where are they located? I mean, all those things can be researched, but again, it is your first experience, so this can be really worth it. There are tech fairs which are more professional, and we have more experienced people going. So once you have a good idea about career fairs, I would really encourage people to attend tech fairs, because you know what is going on, innovations in the tech industry. Meet a whole lot of senior people who can probably recommend you for many internships or something. Develop a relationship so that they know that this guy is really interested in, this guy or girl. So this really matters. Apart from LinkedIn. Lastly, I would like to just mention that we should always do a whole lot of dua. It's our foundation. As a Muslim, we must ask our Almighty for whatever we want. So seeking forgiveness. seeking forgiveness really counts a lot. It goes a long way, because Allah says in the Quran that ask forgiveness from your Lord, and verily He is oft forgiving. He will send you rain in abundance and give you increase in wealth, and children bestow you gardens, bestow on you rivers. So in wealth here it means your livelihood in terms of jobs. So just istighfar, it will really be helpful for you. And indeed, with hardship there will be. I added this verse from the Quran because many people, many of our brothers and sisters have been facing a whole lot of difficulties. They might have to wait maybe a year or more to get their first job, but I've seen, alhamdulillah, with patience it definitely comes to the point that they get it. I have seen many people, many friends of mine face difficulties, but yeah, alhamdulillah, they got jobs. May Allah make it easy for you and also for me. Jazakumullah khair. I'll pass again back to Dawood Bhai.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Fawad. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. This was fantastic. I am looking forward to get your slides. So MashaAllah, we can share with our members. MashaAllah, beautiful slides, very well explained. I think now people are aware that what LinkedIn can do, and alhamdulillah, they can try to work on the LinkedIn. All right, guys. You guys are ready for my part? You guys can see my screen? Let me know. Is everybody sleeping or what? You guys need to get some chai, man. Get some chai, sip it, and because I have few more minutes, inshallah, I'll try to wrap up pretty soon, and then inshallah we can take question and answers. We will answer your questions, inshallah. All right. Everybody's awake? Okay. Okay. Jazakallah khair. I have so much, mashallah, so much more to tell you guys. So stay tuned, inshallah. So let's get started. So of course, this is Dawood Ahmed, right? What I am going to cover now. I'm gonna inshallah try to cover a few things here. So let me get started with my slides. So where are my slides? Okay, here you go. All right. So eye-catching resume and cover letter. So I was trying to kind of fit in the description of how a good resume should be. So I said, rather than kind of just talking, why don't I show you guys something? So I was searching for a lot of new websites, right, where we can create good resumes, and I found this fantastic website. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see this Nova resume kind of stuff? The website? Yes, okay, perfect. So these resumes are a perfect example of how a good resume should look. Let me go on with this resume. Look at this. Look at this. How beautiful this resume is. Alhamdulillah, this is a free service, by the way. You can create your resume for free here. The first thing I noticed in this resume that, it is fully laid. It is just one page, and this person may have around 3 to 4, 5 years of experience, beautifully laid down the skills here, her details, her email address, phone number, her city and state, and state and country, her LinkedIn profile, and her Skype too. Yeah, people more often are doing now Skype interviews, right? And what a little bit about her professional summary, like what Brother Fawad told in the in his LinkedIn, that you should lay down a professional summary. Yes, she got her professional summary, and she got her work experience here. Then later on, the organizations where she was involved in, are currently involved in, and her education and her honors and hours. This is a beautiful resume of somebody who is like mid-level experience or fresher. You guys can create such a good resume. One other important thing you notice in this resume, you don't have to put everything when you are already mentioning the business as your position. Everybody knows what does a business development manager do. You need to highlight only what you have achieved, right? Like look at the first line, successfully managed $2 to $3 million budget projects and successfully achieved the project schedule goal. Look at that. That tells a lot about this person. Everybody know what does a business development manager do. You don't have to say, okay, managing record, give calls to people, generated. No. Put in some points, put in some facts, what you have achieved. Don't say what you were doing, like your day-to-day job activity. Nobody wants to know that. That is not just going to bulk up your resume. So that is a waste of your resume space. So don't do that, inshallah. Just put in something what you have achieved. Now this resume depicts somebody who has experience. Now I get a lot of questions, Brother Dawood, tell me, if I don't have an experience, I am a student, how should my resume look like? Okay, I have an answer for you. I have worked for you guys, so I have also pasted the link below, and these are few other examples, right, of good resumes. This is a pretty good resume. Look at this, look at the skills, man. This is beautiful. So look at the resume, how beautifully this guy has created: CEO, public search engine optimization, public speaking, teamwork. This is a beautiful example of a good resume. Rather than those 3-4 pages lengthy resume, you can just go for this 1-page resume. If you want, you can go for 2-page resume if you have a 5+ years of experience. That's fine. That is allowed. But just don't bulk up your resume with a lot of details about what you were doing day-to-day job. That's not required. Be specific. And look at that. Who will not be able to not be willing to hire this guy? Easily, anybody can hire this guy quickly. Wow, this is an impressive resume. He got his honors, he got his education, he got his organization, he got his work experience, he got everything on this resume. Just on one single sheet, he got everything. So this is a beautiful example. I have pasted the link in my slides, so don't worry about it. I will inshallah share the slides with you guys. Now moving on, and one other resource I have shared with you guys, that these are 12 best website where you can online resume builders website which you guys can use. So I will be forwarding this to you guys. So look into it and check out these websites and create a good resume. I gave you the idea how the resume should look, what points you guys need to cover, what you don't need to cover. So now it is your work, that how you create a resume. By the way, Fawad, your resume is pretty beautiful, by the way. It is one of the resume which like struck in my mind. So recently, I have been, looking for some people for a few jobs. We had on ALMPG, and everybody who is sending me their resume, oh man, these are like plain resume, right? They're a professional summary, which is like 10-15 bullet points, and they got their technical skills, they got their job description, which is like almost every resume was 3+ pages, 4+ pages. Come on, man. That is not a resume. I haven't seen any brother or sister sending me a resume which like pops out. Like I can say, oh wow, this is a good resume. That wow doesn't come out from my mouth, right? So you guys need to work on something so that people can look at your resume and kind of say, wow, this is a good resume. MashaAllah, this is a great resume. Okay, so now that is 2 things about the resume building. Now going for the resumes, before we go further, I want to show you guys some stats. What are the stats you should know about job search? Look at this. Job search statistics: 80% of the jobs are not posted online. So what brother Sarim said, what brother Abdul Wahab said, what brother Fawad said, that connections. Talk to your connection, guys. Talk to your connection. Don't be shy away. Talk to your connection. Let them know your friends. I was in a university recently, right? We had so many students in the class, but none of them were interested to network. Come on, you are a student now, but in 1-2 years you will be professionals and you will be working. So in next 2-3 years, if you kind of lose your job, who would you look up to? You'll go online and start filling those lengthy job applications? No. The good approach is reach out to your connections. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your colleagues, reach out to your kind of educational friends, just send them an email, or, just be connected with them on Facebook and let them know, hey, I know you're working for so-and-so company. I'm looking for jobs, man. If you got something for me, let me know, just spread the word out. You don't have to shy away, because this is a fact. 80% of the jobs are not posted online. They are just filled in internally. Somebody referred, in my company it happened. I'll give you a very good example about my team, right? In my team, they hired one lady. Okay, she is now the director. She got her colleague who she was working with in the company, and that colleague got his friend, and that friend got his friend. So we actually in our team, everybody knows everybody, right? We didn't hire anybody from outside. Me, how I got into the company, the manager's friend knew me. So he told me, Dawood, there is a job opening. Would you like to get interviewed? I said, yeah, I'd love to. So I went in there. Alhamdulillah, look how I got the job. So I'm telling you guys, just be in mind. Don't shy away. Everybody faces this in their life when they are out of job. Whether you are a fresher, whether you are a mid-level guy, you're looking for a job, everybody goes through this phase. You are not doing something out of the blue. Everybody goes through this phase. Okay, now let's look at the second fact. More than half of the candidates are eliminated from the online job search by applicant tracking system. This is what Brother Sarim and Brother Abdul Wahab was talking about. You know, they kind of filter. So make sure your resume kind of interpret what the job description is asking them a little bit, you know, so that, you know, they can pick up the words. These softwares can pick up the word. And look at the 73% of the company have used social media to successfully recruit and hire a candidate. Okay, guys, now you all know that, you know, you're going to put all those stuff on Facebook. So when you are looking for a job, make sure you don't kind of use the sites like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Come on, this talks a lot about you and your personality. If somebody is interested in hiring you, they're going to just search you up on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, whatever it is. You know, they're going to search you up and they're going to say, oh, wow, this guy is into something messed up thing, so he's not going to hire you. So make sure that, you know, your profiles are nice, your profile are clean, your profile, I know you guys are clean, by the way, in the sense that, you know, it looks like professional. It looks like, you know, give you that you're a fun-loving person, you are, you know, not a fight, want to get in fight, you know, not a good worker. So don't post such things on your social media. Okay, 70% of the employers say they have turned down applications because of something negative they found online. Look at that. This is social media. This is online world now. Look, people don't have time for a personal interview. First, they're gonna do their search online and they're gonna kind of finalize the applicant. So make sure you don't put anything negative on your on your social media platform. Only about 5 applicants actually earn an interview from hundreds of applications. Look at that. What are the odds? Wow, you're 100 applicants, only 5 get selected for the interview. So make sure you are in those 5. Okay, these are some facts I wanted to share with you guys. Now, don't worry about it, but let's see the other side. Why do people do that? Why do the HR, why do the company do that? Look at that. 42% of the employer are worried they won't be able to find the talent they need. People are out there to look for talent, to look for people like you guys. And if you guys mess it up, who are they going to hire? Okay, so people are there not to fire you but to hire you. Okay, remember this. They're not there to criticize you, not to kind of ruin your day, but they are to kind of, you know, hire you. So everybody who is spending time for interviewing you or going through your profile, they spend time. Their time is precious. So make sure you guys are well prepared with your resume, with your interview skills, and with your LinkedIn profile, and with your, you know, cover letter. Oh, by the way, with the cover letter, I forgot to also talk about this. On this website, on the other hand, you will see a good cover letter sample too, which is very impressive. Look at this. This is a pretty good creative one, right? Okay, let's look at that. Okay, digital marketer, so and so, dear Miss, if you know somebody, and if you don't know anybody in that company, you can say, okay, sir or ma'am, you know, to whoever it is. So kind of, you look at that, how beautifully this guy has laid down a cover letter. So make sure when you apply for a job, not just send apply online, not just send your resume, but also put in a little cover letter explaining about what you did and why you are interested in the job. This goes a long way. Sorry about that, I was taking a sip of water. Okay, moving on. And this was a good cover letter and resume website. Check this out. I'm gonna give you guys the link. And then you got the job, and then you got people are looking to hire. Now, people who are asking me, if we don't have any experience, don't worry about it. Look at this resume. Okay, this is a regular resume. Okay, you guys already have it. This is something new. Look at that, how beautiful. Though this student doesn't have any experience, but look how beautifully they have mentioned that in their education level, their honors, and work experience, which is internship, right? If they have done any internship. But look how he's highlighting, or he or she is highlighting the education first, because they don't have a lot of experience, so they are now highlighting their education, what they have done in their education, right? This is a good resume for a fresher, for somebody who doesn't have any experience. Okay, okay, moving on. A few other examples. This is a good example of a good resume for a fresher. Okay, so and so, key skills, software, education, achievement, personal attribute. Fantastic. What else do you need? In one page he's done. Okay, he got one more page, but he got some achievement, contribution, volunteering, volunteer placement. Look at that. This is a beautiful example of resume. I have put, by the way, I got all these links, so I'm going to share with you guys, don't worry. And this is also a good example, how to write a student resume or a graduate resume. If you have recently graduated with a master's degree, how should your resume look? Okay, this is a pretty good example. Look at that, guys. Okay, you got all this points they lay down out for you, so don't worry, they have a picture too. Look at that. This is a beautiful resume, by the way. Wow, good job myself. Okay, finding this out. So Jane Doe, business graduate. Look at that, beautiful. MS in global business management. The soft skills. Oh, I like the soft skill part. Technical skills. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is how your resume should look. It shouldn't look like a kind of pretty normal resume, just kind of bullet points. No, 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 no. That's not gonna work. Look at the resume on the left. Look at which one would you hire? The guy on the left or the guy on the right? I will definitely go for a guy on the right, because look at the creativity, how he has spent some time and he's dedicated, and it shows dedication that this guy is serious about his career, about finding a job, about getting a job. Now, moving on. These are a few other examples of a good resume for people with no experience whatsoever. Like this guy got internship experience, so I have few more website which I have laid down, so don't worry, I'm gonna get you guys these. So this is a good infographic about how to write a resume for students and graduate, right? Best resume format, resume layout and must-have, resume objective versus professional summary, contact information, resume section. This is a good infographic. So I have shared this link also. And this is a good example from the internship.com, where you can also find internship for a good example of resume. You can download it. I downloaded this resume here. Look at that. You can just fill in the blanks, put in whatever you're looking for. You got good sample resume for a part-time position, good sample resume for an entry-level job, good sample resume for a no experienced person, right? You can just go through this and create your resume, man. Okay. Now, talking about my LinkedIn profile. So this is a little bit about my LinkedIn profile. I don't got that many views as Fawaad got, but I'm there. So I did what Fawaad said, beautiful professional summary, what I do, where I live. I did an article before. I have 488 followers. Wow, I have more followers on LinkedIn than on my Facebook. Wow, that is great. Okay, my business intelligence, what I did, my university education, and my volunteer experience. Okay, so and so on. You got everything in there. My accomplishment, my courses, my languages I know, and interests. So this talks a lot about person, right? This talks a lot about person. All right, let's get back to our point. Oh, you guys can hear me? I hear a beep. I don't know if I got dropped off. Can you guys hear me? Yes, okay. So one brother just put in the chat, what about the experience for? Yes, of course, for experience for, you have this resume template, right? Use this. You can create two pages in the same. Use the same and create 2 pages for your work experience. Put your education a little bit up, and you can kind of divide your. There is a lot of option how you can increase more experience on such resumes. So, like instance, let me give you an example. So there are a lot of examples here for people who want to go more than who have 5+ years of experience, I'm pretty sure. So CVs, this is for a senior person, right? Okay, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. How beautiful. This is a good CV. Creative. Let's look at the creative one. Okay, this is a 2-page. Okay, brother, for somebody who is senior. right? I'm not able to get the second page. I'm pretty sure on the second page he mentioned about his other experience. So kind of, download this and work on this, okay? You got everything here. You got a CV, resume, and cover letter. So this is free. Just try it. It's free. Even if they are asking for $50, that's fine. You are looking for a job. You're looking for a job. If you want to spend out some money, spend out. When we go outside, we spend out 30, 40, 50 bucks for food. Why don't you spend $50 for creating a good resume, which will fetch you a job, a good job, okay? Spend out some money, okay? Don't look for free stuff. Free stuff is not always good, okay? That's my experience. So let's go back. Let's go back to my slide, okay? Okay, I got all the details here. All the links are here for freshers and people who are experienced. Up top there, the two websites. And quick recap. So let's go for a quick recap. Job search connections. Yes, job portal. I will inshallah next slide lay down all the job portals which you guys need. Okay. Career portals. So make sure not just use the job portals online like LinkedIn, job search website. There is a lot of competition. So rather than go directly on the company's website, and they have their own internal job portal, right? Apply there. Okay, that's going to be a little lengthy, not as easy as LinkedIn, but it's going to kind of give the recruiter or the HR person the feedback that you are really interested in the company. Okay, don't restrict yourself for a particular field or tool while job hunts. For example, if you are a Tableau developer, I'm just giving you an example, right? If you are a business development guy who was working for a IT company or for any company, so just don't limit yourself that you are gonna look yourself job only in IT field. No, man, you are a business development person. Just kind of create a generic resume and market to other field also, other industries also. In the same way, if you are a technical guy, right, working as a Tableau developer, don't just put as a Tableau developer. Market yourself as a BI developer, business intelligence developer, right, or business intelligence consultant, so that people know that you have worked on so and so tool. So okay, I hope that's going to help create a generic resume. Okay. Don't know company name, search in Google. How you can search in search for Fortune 500 company, start applying for job on their portal. You will get plenty of jobs there. Okay, that's how you can do yours. Or you can say top 10 mid-range company, like $100 million, under $100 million company, like small companies, or top 100 small companies. You can find it. Top 10 Fortune 500 company, right? Do that. Search for recruiters on LinkedIn. This is new. I recently discovered that, I was looking for some recruiters, and I found that, on LinkedIn, not only just you can search for candidate or for, people or for jobs, but you can also search for good recruiters, right? So go on to that, and you can kind of, search for a good recruiter. Like if you are looking for jobs in business development, look for business development recruiters, search in the bar. And you will find people, connect with them, talk to them about, as Brother Fawad said, introduce yourself and tell them you are interested in so and so field, and you're looking for a job, right? Okay. So now these are the job website. Okay, I have put down everything on there. Start working on it, and inshallah, I wish you guys all the best. Now moving on. And some people, international students who are coming from different countries, they come here, get their masters, and they end up with these consulting firm, right, who kind of train them and then place them. So what if you are that person, how you want to deal with these consulting firm, what kind of question, and how do you want to proceed with them? Ask them, do they provide free training, accommodation, or monthly, and they give you monthly allowance, right? Ask them about that. Do you pay fixed package or percentage? If they say fixed package, then ask for percentage, right? Whatever billing rate the client gives your consulting firm, tell them you do 80-20 or 75-25. In that way you will earn more. Okay, this is a good tip. Okay, or do you do H1B and GC process, and who pays? Ask them this straightforward question. If you are going for a company, don't end up, I had a call from one of the brother. He called me, I think on Wednesday, and he said, brother, one other brother need help. I said, what help? He joined a consulting firm. It's almost 2 months, then they haven't paid him. So look what. So don't end up in traps. Okay. All right, guys. So do you have a contract? I mean, in US there is no contract generally, but they kind of just to prove that you are working with them, and then do you do a contract. But if majority of the time, if there is a good company, they will not put any contract in front of you, and they will be very nice and easy and polite with you. What is your transparency level, right? Ask them what is your transparency level. Okay, would you let me know what was my billing rate if you are going for a percentage package, right? So ask them this question. How good is your marketing or support team? Tell them, how good is your marketing team if you are kind of trained, and if you want to know how much time they will take to place you. And ask them, how many people they have placed last month. Ask them these facts. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is good to go, right, guys? Okay, I'm proceeding to another slide. How to search for a good consulting firm. Here are a few tips. Ask them straightforward. Ask the guy who invited you to the consulting firm to join. Ask them how good to give out few of their current consultant contacts so that you can get review from them directly. Next, search about the company on myvisajob.com, Visa Square, Visa Door, and any help. And just try searching on Google, and also you can reach out to your friend circle. And also, of course, ALMPG is there to help you guys out. So we have, alhamdulillah, 7,000, close to 7,000 people in our network. Reach out to them, put up a post, man, and ask them. Lastly, do some Google search, and inshallah, you will try to able to find it. Job search, full-time versus contracting. There is a link here, and inshallah, if you go through the link, you will get the details. And there is a list of American vendors who are consulting firms, who kind of get this, have this direct clients. If you are in IT, here is the link. Okay, this is the link for those list of American vendors. Okay, send them an email, draft a beautiful email, ask them that you are in so and so field, you would like to you're looking for a job in this field, would you be able to help? Majority of these recruiters are IT recruiters, but inshallah, as I said, you can always search these recruiter up on LinkedIn and kind of find them up. Okay, and this is a good example of contracting versus full-time. What does it mean? So go through this link. This was created by one of our previous ALMPG LIT member when we were Google group, alhamdulillah, brother Abdul Wahab. So brother Abdul Halim. So jazakallah khair for your efforts, brother. People are still using that. So that's one thing. These are some resources I just want to pass out to you guys. Okay. Okay. Now, moving on. How to succeed, guys. Okay, you got all these tips. Now what you do, you say, okay, you are motivated for 2-3 hours, then you are gone. What's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. See, it all depends on your effort. It just takes your efforts to get your job. Nobody is going to help you. We are just going to give you some advices, but the ultimate truth is that you have to help yourself. I'm going to tell you guys, this is the plain simple fact that we are not working hard enough to achieve what we want. We are wasting a lot of time. We have a lot of distraction in our life. So this is where everything boils down to. You need to put those efforts. You need to work hard. I am telling you, if you are on your computer screen listening to me, I'm telling you this plain simple fact. The only person who can help you in your situation is you yourself. Nobody is going to come, even your family member, they're going to give advice, they're going to make dua for you, but nobody is going to come and help you. They're going to tell you what to do, but nobody is going to do your job. This is your job. You are looking for an opportunity. You want to grow in life. You want to get a job. So it is your responsibility to give your 110%, guys. Okay, don't wait for me. Don't wait for Brother Dawood. Don't wait for Brother Fawaad Khan. Don't wait for ALMPG. Do your search. Okay, there is a very beautiful quote by Hazrat Rumi. He was a famous poet, Asian poet, and he said, "Jab Khuda ne tumko pank diye hain to rengna kyun chahte ho?" When Allah has blessed you with wings, why do you want to crawl? So make sure you guys work hard. Make sure you get that dedication, you get that motivation, inshallah. If you are not motivated enough, before, just every day wake up, ask Allah to bless you with, man, or, watch some YouTube videos on motivation. I'd watch some of the new motivation video because I want to lose weight. In 2016, I was 30 pounds more than my weight. So I lost that weight. Alhamdulillah, I used to watch some motivational video and I did it. I did it in 3 months. I lost 30 pounds. So Alhamdulillah, we can do whatever we want. It is just that we want to come out of our comfort zone and want to do that hard work. But the plain simple fact is that we don't want to do that. We want everything the easy way. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get it. I'm telling you, this is a fact. You're not going to get it. You have to work for it. You have to sweat. You have to get for it. There is no way you're going to say, okay, I got this job. I created a good resume. My LinkedIn is good. Okay, no. You need to put your effort. Spend 2 hours, spend 3 hours a single day, create a good profile, create a good resume, create a good cover letter, apply for positions, man. Who is stopping you? America is a free country. You will not get so many opportunities in any other country, I swear. This country has blessed us with so many job opportunities. You guys need to just work hard and apply. Who is stopping you? Tell me who is stopping you. Nobody. The answer is nobody. You yourself is stopping yourself, okay? You are the person who is stopping you to proceed further and succeed in future. Nobody else. Did your friends stop you? Did your family stop you? No. Did your colleagues stop you? No. It is your and me. I'm not just pointing it to you. Even myself, I have more dreams to achieve, and inshallah, I'm working on it. In the same way, you guys have more dreams to achieve. Look at the end result. Imagine the end result. Put the end result in your mind. That what happens when you get a job. You're going to give your 110% on the job. You will be the successful guy in the company. Everybody likes you in the company. Look at the end result and look at whatever money you're going to earn, you're going to spend on your family. You're going to help your family. You're going to help your friends. You're going to help yourself. This is the way you go forward, brothers. This is the way you go forward, people. You don't just sit on a computer and you just don't think you know everything. You're going to be a super expert. No, you need to put some efforts in. You need to put that hard work in. Okay? I think I motivated you guys enough. Okay? So if you like this, you need to tell others to, do the same. Don't keep this knowledge just to yourself. Give it to pass on to other people. Help people out. So inshallah, moving forward, inshallah, if we have any other non-Muslim brother, inshallah, we are going to share a little bit about Islam, what Islam says about, how things can be easy for us. So these are some points which I kind of raised. So things to be winner, inshallah, make dua. Make dua. Do a lot of dua. Dua means asking. Ask your God, pray to your Creator, pray to your Prophet Muhammad. He used to recite this dua, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Oh Allah, oh my Lord, oh my Creator, give us the best in this world and the hereafter, and save us from the punishment of the fire. Beautiful, beautiful dua. Recite this dua. Who is asking you? I'll give you a small example. Every single morning, a bird. Have you ever seen any animal storing their food? They will not, because they have put their trust in their Creator, that their Creator will provide. But they have to do the hard work. So every morning the bird leaves its nest and it goes out in search of food and come back full stomach. It goes empty stomach and it comes back full stomach. So this is how you put your trust in your Creator. Okay, this is a beautiful dua which you guys need to by heart and work on this. Okay, so now moving on, another famous dua, and one of my most loved dua. I really like this dua because this was a dua made by Musa alayhi salam when he was coming from the he kind of accidentally killed a guy and he was running away from one city where he was wanted to another city. He had nothing. He accidentally killed that guy because that guy was trying to kill somebody else. So he accidentally kind of pushed those two guys apart and he just fell down there. So when he was there, he was running from Egypt to Palestine, Madian area, and he had nothing. He was just wearing his slippers. His slippers were torn off. He was hungry. He didn't have food for days. And alhamdulillah, what he did, he sat under a tree and he said, "Oh Lord, oh my Lord, truly I am in need of whatever good you bestowed on me." So this, just by reciting this dua, Allah has blessed him with a wife, with a job, with a house, and with a family. Alhamdulillah. And I have personally used this dua in my life, and alhamdulillah, it has blessed me a lot. Believe me, guys, so by heart this dua, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. This is a beautiful piece of advice, a piece of dua. So moving on, few other duas like dua of Yunus alayhi salam, narrated by Sa'd. The hadith says that in narrated by Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu anha said, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the prayer of Dhul Nun is that is who? Yunus alayhi salam. When he was in the belly of the fish, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. A Muslim never calls upon his Lord with these words concerning any matter, but his prayer is answered. So subhanallah, this is a beautiful dua. So make sure you recite these dua in beautiful abundance. And lastly, I want to share this dua of Ayub alayhi salam. This is a beautiful dua, Rabbi, where he says, Anni masanniya durru wa anta arhamar rahimin. This is a beautiful dua. I was doing the Quran tafsir this week, and alhamdulillah, we covered this. And you guys don't know what was the struggle of Ayub alayhi salam. He lost all his children, he lost all his money, he lost all his family, he lost all his people. He had a disease which developed pores on his body, right? He was on a bed and he couldn't do anything. But he never complained to his Lord, because when his wife asked him, why did you complain to your Lord? He asked, why would I complain when Allah has blessed me with so much previously, and now he is just taken that away, so why should I complain? So, but he beautifully kind of, after kind of made this dua that verily distress has seized me. See how beautiful. He didn't say, Ya Allah, you have taken away everything. He said, distress has seized me, Ya Allah. You are the most merciful of all those who shows mercy. Beautiful dua. So make use of this dua. Inshallah, I will share this dua with you. And finally, few pieces of other advice: seek forgiveness, because as Allah says in the Quran, that indeed He is of forgiving. He will send down rain, the sky from the sky upon you in abundance, and provide you with wealth and children, and make for you garden and make for you rivers. So this is a beautiful advice. So seek astaghfar, ask forgiveness. Don't neglect the rights of other people. Don't ruin the rights of other people. If you have hurt somebody, go and ask, seek their forgiveness. Seek forgiveness from your Creator. If you have wronged somebody, you have wronged a person, you need to go and ask them for their forgiveness. Okay? Recite durood in abundance. You guys know what are the benefits of durood. I don't have to tell you, look it up. Recite Surah Waqia, because Prophet Muhammad said, whoever recites Surah Al-Waqia at night would never encounter poverty. So you guys know this. This is already there. I'm just kind of reminding you guys with all this beautiful advices which I got from learned people, from ulama, and help somebody in need. This is a beautiful advice, and I have, alhamdulillah, seen in my life miracles happening to me when I help somebody out. So make dua for somebody else. So there is a hadith which says, this is a very long hadith. So promise of God has been, this is a hadith Qudsi, which means that this is a hadith word directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Prophet Muhammad. Whoever relieves the hardship of a believer in this world, God will relieve his hardship on the day of resurrection. In the same manner, whoever helps ease someone in difficulty, God will make it easy for him in this world and the hereafter. And on and on. It's a beautiful hadith and lengthy hadith. Go ahead. This is a reference to that hadith. Go ahead and learn this hadith and read about this. So help somebody in need. Don't be arrogant. Don't be selfish that you want everything for yourself. Stop that mentality. The universe is created on the principle of give and take. Why there is? Have you guys ever noticed that give is always first, take is second, give and take? Okay, give and take. So it is always giving. You first give and it will come back to you. But don't give with the intention that, it should come back to you. Just leave it to your God. Okay, leave it to your Lord. Allah will bless you with it. So alhamdulillah, this was a kind of, I wanted to share with you guys. So I now open the floor for Q&As. Inshallah, let's take some questions. I hope you guys didn't mind any of my word. But believe me, guys, there is so much you guys can do. So much more you can do. You have the caliber to reach stars, but it is just we don't want to work hard. I will tell you very politely, please work hard. improve your conditions. There is nobody else who can improve your condition other than you. So you need to work hard. So let me open up the stage for Q&A. I'm gonna put the session. For on Q&A mode. Any brothers and sisters who have questions, please. Okay, brother Abdul Wahab, I'm gonna kind of unmute you, brother. Brother Fawad, are you there? I'm gonna unmute you. If anybody have questions for you, they can ask you directly. I think brother Fawad dropped. Brother Abdul Wahab, I have unmuted you.
Thank you, brother Dawood. Thank you.
Okay, let's take some questions, brother Abdul Wahab. What do you say?
Yes. Bismillah. We can start. Yeah.
All right. I want to see brother Sarim is there or not. I know he's a busy person. So brother Sarim, if you are there, I'm gonna kind of I'm not able to unmute you. I think you have unmuted yourself. Muted yourself. So see if you are available. Join us to answer some of the questions, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. All right, brother or sister Shanur, you're first. I have unmuted you. Ask your question, please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for such a wonderful webinar. I just recently graduated from my master's, and I learned a lot from all the slides that have been shared. But I do have a pretty quick question. Either of you guys who can help me. The resume building tool that we were talking about, when I was graduating at that time in my last class of capstone, my professor told that if you try to highlight a lot of bullet points and all, then when they are scanning your resume, at that time it might be a problem. Like the way you guys are telling to use a little creative. Yeah, they are eye-catchy, but when you actually go into the scanning thing, which is basically the way it is, one resume will be forwarded to many other teams or many other people in one company, then there are chances that your resume might not look exactly the same way you have made it. So what do you think? Do you guys have any idea about it? Am I right? Or
so for that, I would suggest, Brother Abdul Wahab, make sure feel free to jump in. What I would suggest in that case, I don't know how internally the software works. If these creative resumes are not picked up by software, what we can do, we can create two resumes, one with the regular format, one with the creative one. If you are emailing somebody your resume, make sure you email this resume. But if you are kind of creating, you have a traditional resume with just the bullet points, highlighting everything. But what I understand from the software, what I know about the software is that the software picks up the word. Like what are the words they got in the job description, they kind of filter down those resumes. If they don't find those words, those specific word in your resume, they're not going to pick it up. So that's what I know about it. If your professor says that, maybe he has, I don't know what kind of experience he has. If he says that, these creative resume will not be picked up, but I'm pretty sure they should pick it up because, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you in between. I'm not saying the creative resume wouldn't be picked up. The discussion is not about the words. The discussion is about the format. Like the format that I'm going to choose. And when I send over my resume, then when you scan it, then there are chances that your resume wouldn't appear the same as what you are sending.
Okay.
Are you able to get it? It's you're saying about the words. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You're saying about the format of the resume. Is that what you mean?
Yes. This is
okay. So format of if the format of the resume is a problem, so that's what I'm saying. Create a traditional resume with the regular format, right? But I see your point. If you're saying that if these companies they got this traditional resume softwares which scan the resumes in the traditional format, they might not pick up yours, right? You got your picture there, you got your LinkedIn and everything up there. It's kind of a PDF format or whatever format it is, kind of little different. So they might not pick it up. Right, you're right. So in that scenario, what advice I can give? We are not pretty much sure about it. We need to ask somebody who is in the technical field. So I don't know, Brother Abdul Wahab, do you have any idea about this?
Well, Assalamu alaikum, sister. I think that most of the companies they mentioned that they want a Word doc. Okay, So make sure that your resume is in a Word doc. And what I mean when they scan the resume means they have the softwares which picks up the keywords. Okay, so you have applied for a position and they have asked for a few requirements. They will cross-check your resume with those requirements. That's it. If you have those things in your resume will be picked. No doubt about it. And the format, you can do it in a Word format, Word doc.
Okay, yeah, that's what I know, that they pick up on specific words, not the format of the resume. I've never heard anybody saying, but just to make sure we can do a little bit more search on Google how this resume picking up software work, and inshallah we can create the resume accordingly. Okay, Jazakallah khair. I hope we answered your question. So let's take another question. Yeah,
if the software doesn't pick the keyword, then the software is not a good one. So it has to pick your resume if you have those keywords.
All right, perfect. All right, let's take another caller, Brother Muhammad Khan. Go ahead, Brother Muhammad.
Yes, my name is Muhammad Khan, and my question, first of all, Jazakallah, Brother Dawood, and Brother Fawad, and Brother Abdul Wahab for all their time, and it's really exciting and a lot of knowledge, even though I have tons of years of experience in IT. But I have one question with Brother Abdul Wahab, because he has the same background as what I currently have, and I'm actually in a situation where a lot of infrastructure side. I've been working as a senior Unix Linux Solaris administrator, and a lot of things from my company is actually going to the cloud right now, and there is a need for me to have myself get into that, and I'm trying to get some advice from Brother Abdul Wahab, and I'm not sure if if I can talk have that conversation now, because we are already taking too much time now, or if it's okay I can communicate with him in the email or something, or the phone.
Yes, assalamu alaikum, brother. Yes, inshallah, as this question is quite out of the subject, inshallah, you can have my email. It's very simple. It's wahab@americantalenthub.com. So inshallah we can communicate, and I'll be happy to walk you through.
He will, Brother Abdullah, why don't you put it in the chat box, inshallah. If anybody has any question, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, that's
sure. And meanwhile, I will also put my email address. If any brother or sister want to reach out to me for any help or advice, inshallah, I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. Okay, that's what I do. Inshallah, I'll try to do. Not I do, but I'll try to do, inshallah. This is my email address. Make sure if you guys need it, need any help, just send me an email, man. All right, Brother Muhammad Khan, Jazakallah khair for the question. Inshallah, Brother Abdul Wahab will try to help you out. Okay, Brother Obaid Muhammad, go ahead. Ask your question, please.
Okay. I have a question in regards to the interview process. So, so let's say when you're in an interview and you're speaking to the HR manager, and the topic of salary comes up, and they ask you what your expected salary is, how would you respond to it, and what is the preparation that I could do? And from what I've been told, like you usually look at the average of the specific role, and how would you give us estimate amount that you're expecting from that company?
Brother Abdul Wahab, you want to take that question?
Yeah, sure. Assalamu alaikum, brother. So if you apply for any position, the first thing you wanted to do is you wanted to find out what is the market value for that job. And also at the same time, the location matters. The salary, what you can get in Texas, it's very less when compared to getting salary in California or New York. So you have to weigh in all of these factors that what will be, a competitive salary in that specific area of expertise, and also the location. And you always have an option not to reveal your present salary. Okay, so you don't have to. They cannot stress you on that one. They will ask you sometimes, and sometimes they will not even ask you what is your present salary. So you don't have to. If they stress you more and they say that yes, we want this, we want to know that, then you can mention it, but try not to mention that. Other than that, look for the competitive salary, and just give a more $5,000 to $10,000, or at least $5,000 more per year. If the job what you're looking for, let's say it's 90K, in that area, just say 95K or 100K or something. Don't quote more. 110, 120. Don't do that. Just a 5,000 more, so that you will be in their range. So just look for the competitive price, and you can claim that one. Yeah.
And also, I'll say it all depends on the candidate. If they see that the candidate is very much, kind of interested when we are done with the technical round, when we are done, kind of closing up the interview. I had my personal experience. I would like to say that, if you're really looking for somebody who can get the job done, and if you're looking for somebody who can not just work as a job, but create a career in your company, then I'm the right guy to be hired for this position. And I don't think, negotiating in terms of salary would be a problem. Try to negotiate it. They're gonna, of course, if you're gonna say 5,000, they're gonna say, okay, 3,000, we can go for 93. Okay, if say you're earning 90, you say 95, they're gonna say 93. So it doesn't matter. But at the end, you can see the body language of the person, kind of negotiate with them. Try to get the best deal out of it. I know when we try to switch the job, we want to earn a little bit higher, so there is no problem with that. But try to see the body language of the HR person or the person you are in, get in touch with it, and inshallah, try to analyze the situation and go forward for it. Jazakallah. I hope we answered your question, brother Ubaid. Jazakallah khair for your call. All right, question. Let's take another brother. Phone number 201-508-7220. Please ask your question.
Hello. Hello,
Hey.
My name is Asim.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, I am a student. I'm a senior in college, William Patterson University in New Jersey. I'm located in New Jersey. I had a question. I'm trying to look for. Okay, so I graduate in May. Should I be looking for full-time jobs or internships? That's question number one. And number two, it would be that, like I saw the student resumes that you posted, so I want to try to make my resume like that. But like I don't have much IT experience, but like I have class projects. Should I put class projects in my resume as well?
Yes, of course. My answer would be yes. You should put your class project. If you don't have experience, don't worry about it. Every student who start their job or their career, they don't have experience. So what you put all your previous experience as what you did in your university, what you have achieved. Like, you can say that, like I was the top student in my class. So I would say, I was the top student in my class. I was highly loved by my professors. They recommended me, kind of so on and so forth. And talk about the project, what you did in the project. If you see in the, are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing my screen? You can see the resumes, right? So let me show you a good example of that, what you're talking about. Look here. I think they got something here. Favorite field of study, thesis title, favorite. See, they have put the thesis also, which they have done, okay, in this resume. And activities and achievement, dean list, right? President of the undergrad student board. This talks a lot that you are a person who is always ready and who always wants to do something, right? Now, your first question was that you should apply for internship or full time. Yes, if you have graduated.
Yeah, I graduated in May.
Yeah, you're no longer eligible for internship. Internship is while you are studying. So when you complete your master's or your studies, you need to look for full-time employment, okay? Full-time or contract, whatever suits you. So, but yeah, that would be my piece of advice. Brother Abdul Wahab, do you have any piece of advice for him?
Yes, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I mean that's a very good thing that you're now starting. There are so many opportunities for the fresh graduates, and I remember Brother Dawood, he just posted one of the job opening for, I think, junior programmer. They say that they're looking for fresh grads. They don't want any experience. No experience is good. They will get you on board. They will train you. Brother Dawood, inshallah, please forward that post to him as well. So yeah, I mean, especially look for the job fairs. They are open to the fresh grads, and also create your profile on LinkedIn, as Brother Fawad mentioned. And your resume could be, it doesn't have to have experience. You can just put your highlights or where you're strong at, and mention point 1, point 2, point 3, and you can obviously put your university projects with it, right? And try to get involved in some volunteer work. It doesn't matter if you're in a development side, web developer, or whatever it is. You can volunteer, anywhere you want, especially, these Islamic organizations and stuff, they have their websites, they have their apps and everything. So get involved with them, do some volunteer work. What it will do is you will get the reward. Also, you will know how the real-time thing works, right? So you'll start creating the, you will obviously volunteer and work with 1 or 2 people who are already experienced, right? That in and itself is a project for you. So get yourself involved, do some volunteer work, maybe for 3 to 6 months. That will get you a lot of good knowledge and experience, and and that will put more barakah, more blessings, in your career. So try to look for those opportunities, even though if it's volunteer work. Get involved, start learning, start coding, or I don't know what your background is, but when it comes to applying for a job, make your resume. It doesn't have to have some experience in it. Just show what you know, right? And then start uploading it onto the to the job portals, and try to get into networking, right? Because if you see the survey, a lot of jobs, maybe like 70 to 80% people would get a job just because they know somebody, right? Their friend's friend had some opportunity, for the beginners, and for who has a little bit knowledge of some subject. They pull them in and they get a job, right? So get involved in networking. ALMPG is a very good platform. Right now we have 7,000 members, and it's growing, it's spiking. So we have so many people in here. We have the members are hiring managers. They're people who email saying that I have a job in my team, right? And there's some mentorship programs. You email them saying that I need help with this thing. So a lot of people would reply to you and try to help you out, give you suggestions. So grow your networking, right? So that's how, inshallah, that's a fast track to achieve your job. So to answer your question, yes, you can definitely apply for full-time positions, contract positions, whatever it comes. There are no restrictions. Just go ahead and start applying for it, right? And also you can mention your projects and stuff in your resume.
Okay, perfect. Let's take 5 other questions, inshallah, and then we can end the session, inshallah, in 5 minutes. So I have a question from Brother Sarim Bhatti. Go ahead. Brother Sarim? Don't worry about it. If you want, you can put the question in the chat box too. One more question, Brother Muhammad Miskeen. Go ahead, Brother Miskeen.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. I'm from California, and here I have a situation. I'm between jobs. I am on H1, so last company has gave me about 60 days to find my next job. So this session really helped me, though I have barely 4 years of experience. So I was looking, a lot of negative things are hitting my mind while I'm positively picking up myself and trying to apply for jobs. So what do you recommend at this point of time? I'm trying to keep my mind fresh, at the same time hopeful and asking dua. So do you recommend anything, or at the same time how can I get help from ALMPG in finding my next job through references, as I'm in California right now, like Bay Area, California, San Jose. If you can help me some good words.
Brother Muhammad, to reach out to, inshallah. I know what situation you are in. It's time is running out and you don't have a lot of time. So I would say first put up a post on ALMPG as soon as possible, inshallah. We'll try to hook you up with some recruiters, inshallah, on ALMPG, which we personally know. I will reply back to your post, and I'll also ask my other team members to see if there are any job opportunities for you directly. So inshallah, we'll try to reach you out. But reach out to your contacts, reach out to your colleagues. That would be my first advice, because see, going through the normal job finding process, this might take months, but you have a time limit, right? So for that, inshallah, reach out to your colleagues and your connections first. That is going to really help you in terms of finding the job. And inshallah, post it on the LMPG. I will try my level best to see how we can fit you. And by the way, 4+ years is a good amount of experience. It's not a bad profile. You can inshallah get job. And if you are in California, and you know the California is land of opportunity, alhamdulillah, I have been in California for almost like 3 years now, and there are plenty of jobs out there, brother. So don't worry about it. And inshallah, also, try to send me a resume directly. My email I have already posted. What I will do, I have few recruiters, I can just kind of forward you their email. Reach out to them and see if they have any opportunities. And lastly, I know it is a stressful situation. Make dua, ya akhi. Make dua. Make dua. It can change your life. It can change your life. It has worked for me. I'll tell you guys straightforward. I had a situation in the beginning of this year that I was on a verge of getting kicked out of this country. It was not my fault. My visa was rejected. It was totally not my fault. The circumstances were out of my hand. What I did, I asked Allah. I asked my Creator, Ya Allah, make it easy. My wife prayed for me. My family prayed for me. And it was, alhamdulillah, it was like a miracle that, I came out of all this stuff, and alhamdulillah, I'm happy. So this time will pass on. So brother Miskin, do not worry about it, inshallah. This is a test. Make sure you are strong on it, and make sure you do your best. So don't worry about it. Inshallah, we are there to help you. We'll try our level best. Okay? And see, we can try our level best, but the ultimate help is will always come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one other piece of advice I forgot to mention in my slide is pray tahajjud. Imam Shafi'i said the dua made in tahajjud is like an arrow which never missed its target. So inshallah, make sure you pray tahajjud and ask from Allah, because there is a beautiful hadith Qudsi, which means Allah said to Prophet Muhammad that this is what he does. When a slave, he said every night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla jalaluhu, I don't know, he said he come down to on the last arsh, and he asked his abds that, who is there who is seeking forgiveness? I will forgive him. Who is there who is asking for help? I will help him. Who is there who is making dua? I will answer your dua. So ask your dua, answer, get your prayer answer, and inshallah remember us in your dua also, inshallah, and make dua for your brothers, inshallah, because there is another hadith. This is a beautiful hadith. I try kind of cheat on this dua. So whenever I need something, I make that same dua for my younger brother. Ya Allah, bless him with a good job, bless him with a good family, bless him with everything, And alhamdulillah, Prophet Muhammad said, if you make dua for somebody else, the angels will make dua for you. So alhamdulillah, how better is that, I am making dua for somebody, and the angels who are pure, they are making dua for me. So that is a beautiful, right, give and take situation. So it is always first giving and then taking. So alhamdulillah, let's try. Inshallah, we'll try our level best. Brother Abdul Wahab, if you can also try to help Brother Miskin. I know also one more thing, Brother Abdul Wahab recently opened up his company. So alhamdulillah, congratulate him. Also, he's trying to create a difference in the community and trying to help people out. So Brother Miskin, also reach out to Brother Abdul Wahab. Inshallah, we'll try to see how we can help you out, inshallah. At the end, make dua, ya akhi. Don't lose hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is not what you do. This is not what you do. Okay? Okay, Jazakallah khair. Let's take another question.
Brother Dawood, just wanted to add one thing here.
Sure.
For them.
Sure.
There is some technical aspect to it. I'll quickly tell this thing because it will also benefit the others on the call as well.
Sure.
My friend, my coworker, his name was Shravan. His name is Shravan, and he's from India. And he was kind of like pretty much in the situation. But what he did was, a good thing what he did was he applied for actually the renewal. H1 extension, okay, and the climate, the administration right now, they're like really, very strict about it. The approval for the H1 extension has gone down, and there's the queries, coming one after the other, and a lot of people, their H1 is getting denied as well, right? So when he applied for H1 renewal, he noticed that these things were going on, and as the employer, what he did was he filed another H1 from a sister company, okay? And then what happened was eventually he applied for the the extension with company A. They sent an RFE, which is they asked for some documents, and then they rejected that one. So just because he applied for to company B, he was able to still stay in U.S. Okay, and then what he did was with company B also they sent an RFE, but he was so strong, he was so determined. He went through each and single word of that query, and then he told to his employer that I'll take it from here, and he prepared such a good documentation that I can't tell you how much he worked hard for that. And then he responded back, and 2-3 weeks ago he messaged me on Facebook that his H1 with the company B got approved. If he wouldn't have acted in that way, he would not be staying in the United States, because the moment your H1 is rejected, they will give you certain days and you have to leave the country, right? So my suggestion is that, obviously, you're looking for a job, you're looking for different things, but try to talk to an attorney, okay, and say that, this is my situation. What do you recommend? Shall I apply for to a company B as well, or whatever it is, So make sure that you take a legal consultation and try to be on top of it. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah. That's a very good point you raised, Brother Abdul Wahab. Also, I want to add one more thing here. Dua just does not get affected unless you are working for it. If you're going to say, Ya Allah, bless me with this, Ya Allah, okay, Ya Allah is going to bless you, but Allah is also saying that you need to work hard for it. So as I told you, I was in a situation, I worked day in and day out, and alhamdulillah, and Allah put barakah into it, blessing into it, and I was out of that situation. So what I'm going to say is that, even if you have problem, make dua, that's the first thing, and also make work towards solving that problem. There is a sound hadith about Prophet Muhammad when one of the Sahaba came to Prophet Muhammad and asked, Ya Rasulullah, should I tie my camel or put my trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He said, you first tie your camel and then put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He didn't say, you do anything and just put your trust. He said, first do your job and then put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So make sure you are doing enough so that inshallah your job is easier, inshallah. But to all the brothers. And I'm going to take 2 more questions, and inshallah if any other questions are there, I will, and please send us an email, we'll try to answer. Brother with phone number 5315.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Jazakallah khair for a beautiful presentation, and mashallah, the things are really good. I'm really happy the way things are working out for our Muslim brothers. So alhamdulillah, I'm in the IT industry from past 20 years. So I have a common question, which comes to me, from the programmers who are in early stage or even from the freshers. So the resume model which has been shown, the things have changed. So previously we used to have a history of things what we have done, but now what we have achieved, how much is the percentage of growth or revenue we have done, all those things. So now for the programmer perspective, let's say the guy has worked for 4 years. Now he had no clue because of his involvement as a part of programmer, what are the percentage or what are the revenue the growth he has made for that particular project. So for that do you have any suggestions any method or calculation where they can change their resume into that the newer model?
Sure. I was actually looking to go to the second page, but alhamdulillah for that, to answer that question, yes, even for developers. See, I myself, I started as a developer, I am a kind of a little technical lead now. So you can say you can lead, you have led a team of 5 people. You have kind of implemented or kind of created kind of architect. You are an architect of some program, right? Highlight what you have achieved. It doesn't have to be numbers. So see, if you are a business person, you can put in numbers. It doesn't mean that you have to look for numbers. It doesn't matter. But highlight what you have achieved. Achieved, you can say that, you know, you were recommended by business users to gather the requirement. You were the top-notch guy who the business users used to reach out to gather the requirement. You had a very much a good gel up with the business users, with the client, with anybody, you know, kind of highlight what you have achieved. Java developer, we all know what the development do. Tell them what technologies you learned. You kind of implemented a new project from scratch. Highlight those first, and then you can later on in one of the summary you can say that, okay, you have worked on so and so and so in technology. You can summarize. But in every position, you can just highlight that, you know, what you have achieved. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be in numbers, but lay down your achievements. You're getting my point, right? Maybe you got an award, so you can say I was awarded for so and so. Maybe your team manager really loved you. You can say my team manager, you know, admired by team manager, you know, kind of for this and this, for this project. You know, this project was, there was a tight deadline to complete the project, and you know, alhamdulillah, we kind of, you know, I squeezed in, I did worked a lot, me and my team, and we finished the project in time. So kind of laid down such achievements. Okay, inshallah, I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, just jazakallah khair.
Yeah,
Inshallah,
yeah. You can always try to, yes, inshallah, you can always try to search Google, do a little Google. I cannot see the second page, but I'm pretty sure they have pretty interesting part on that. Look at this in the second part. Operational manager ensured hotels front and bar are running. That's not a good example of bar, but I'm just saying, you know, increased room and food beverage revenue by 28%. But look at that, initiated and implemented a superior training program for each department, which resulted in increased guest satisfaction. So something like that. It doesn't have to be numbers. So I hope you got my point. So jazakallah khair. Inshallah, any more questions, inshallah, email me. So I think we will take just one more question from Brother Sajid, and I will end up the session, inshallah. Go ahead, Brother Sajid. Brother Sajid, you are, I have unmuted you. Okay, I don't think he's there. Let's take a question from Brother Salah. Okay, Brother Salah. Salah.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, assalamu alaikum everybody. I just have a question. I had an interview process, and I was told that it was the top of the list, but it's taken him a long time. It's already a month since I interviewed my first one. So when is it, when do you say that it is too much to be asking? I mean, I already asked twice, and they said we're waiting for the reviews to come back, and nobody's answering them. So I'm not sure if, when do you say it's enough to keep pushing or keep asking? Is there like a limit? Or should I just wait until they come back to me? I mean, that's really my question.
How long it has been you have applied and interviewed?
It's been a month and maybe a couple of days.
Okay, month and so. Usually how we can analyze this situation is that, you know, see how much time they usually take. Go on Glassdoor and read the interview reviews, right? That how much time they take to kind of hire. Tell me this, is this position for a full-time employment?
Yes, it's for a full-time employment, but also it's for a management position that is different than my original career. So they say I'm their top candidate, but it doesn't mean that they're going to hire me. But I mean, in the meantime, they are not answering back. I mean, there is some dragging of their feet. I'm not sure if it is related to what, but I can't tell.
Let me see if Brother Sarim, are you there? I have unmuted you. You want to answer that question?
Yeah, so if I remember his question, he said that it's been more than a month. Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
So unfortunately, it doesn't take that long to get the reviews from the people that interviewed, right? So I think what's going on is that they are contemplating between the people they have at the top group, you know, kind of like analyzing the answers of all the different individuals. Usually within the first week after the interview, generally they contact the top individual and they try to start negotiations with them. And negotiations can take a little bit of time, but just to let you know if you've been, you were the top one or not, it doesn't take a month.
Jazakallah khair. And sometimes, it happens that, they might not get the budget for their department to kind of hire somebody. So that is one of the reasons they kind of, pull off, okay, next month, so give it some more time. So ask them a straightforward question. I would say if it is more than one, wait for 1 more week, inshallah, and try to send them out a, brief email asking that, please let me know what is the status of my, draft a good email, kind of asking them politely in a straightforward question that, if you guys are still considering my profile, so that I can, if not, I will start applying for another jobs. I can look for other opportunities. Simple way to kind of deal with them. I hope we answered your question, Brother Salah.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you with this job, man. I mean, it is meant for you. It will come to you, Brother Salah. Don't worry about it, inshallah. That is the qadr. It is written for you. It will come to you. And I will take this last question from Sister Najma. Go ahead, sister.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Dawood. Barakallahu fikum for this webinar. I have 2 questions. So
yes,
my first question is that Brother Fawaad had talked about the importance of putting your picture on LinkedIn. So as a Muslim woman, I'm not really comfortable with that. So I'm asking if it really matters for recruiters, because I'm now currently in a job seeking process. So is it really matters for recruiters? So this is my first question. My second question is that I graduated 2 years ago with a master's degree in computer science. So since that I have worked with the university in the labs, so I have a research-based experience. So now I would like to work in the industry. I would like to have professional experience in the industry. So my question is how to make my research-based experience to look professional for the recruiters.
Jazakallah khair for your question, inshallah. We'll try to answer your question, inshallah, in best way possible. Brother Sarim, do you have any opinion, any advice?
So I'll start off with the second question because that's a little bit easier. So to be honest with you, it really depends, what you have done in the past, your lab experience. The job that you're applying to may be relevant, maybe not relevant, but it all comes down to how you word your resume, how you portray yourself in the resume, right? Again, going back to the basics, doing the homework, taking the JD, and kind of, one thing I used to do, and I still do if I need to apply for a new job, is kind of circle the keywords from the JD, right? And kind of embed those words in my resume, in my stories on the resume, in my statements, So kind of going through that process is going to help you a lot, right? So that's number one. Number two, your question number one, which is if you don't want to put your picture on the profile, and that is perfectly fine, right? There's people that be okay with that, and the way but you should do it is instead of putting your face, you could put a quote or something, something that will stick out, like if you're going for a physics position or some scientist, you can put equal MC square or something, something catching. You can make it up with being smart. You can put some something else, something nice, put like a meaning of a hadith, which doesn't show that, which isn't controversial, which is actually smart, which is professional. So you can kind of make it up from that aspect too. It really depends, your question number two, it depends, what you currently have on the resume, matching it up with the JD and kind of then making a resume before applying. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, let's ask her. Sister Najma, does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. I'll give you a piece of advice, inshallah, if you are really kind of, not comfortable. So don't worry about it, inshallah. You can, we are not the ulama, I'm not the ulama, or none of us. So I would say also, kind of, reach out to your, if you are an independent mother or independent woman who don't have anybody. So the Sharia also allows that woman, you can wear your hijab and you kind of, put your picture like that. But ask the local imam and ask, see what they have to say. Because it depends situation on your situation also, right? If you have a person in your house who is already working, so then this is not kind of, this is a plus, this is kind of somebody second person working in the house, which is not a necessity. But if you are a single mother, or if you are a single person who is going to start his or her job, it depends that you can you can definitely put up your picture, because it kind of create impression. But it all boils down to your hard work. And if you don't want to put your picture, that's fine. You can apply for job portals on the company. It doesn't matter. And that piece of advice Brother Sarim gave, that is also a very good piece of advice, inshallah. Look into it, that kind of will be a little creative, like chemistry or whatever field you are into, kind of get something from there and kind of put it up there, inshallah. May Allah make it easy for you, inshallah. Just don't lose hope, inshallah. To everybody here, I'm gonna kind of end the Q&A session now. So I would say just don't lose hope, inshallah. And with this note, the session, if any sisters or brother, we missed your question, I really apologize. We have a time limit and we went almost 1 hour ahead of our time. So I want to end this session, and inshallah I have one request for all of you who attended today. Please make dua for all the presenter and ALMPG team. Inshallah this will help us grow, and this will you never know whose dua will help us out. So jazakallah khair, and at the end support us in any way, ALMPG platform, become a member or spread out the word about ALMPG. Volunteer for us, you can also partner with us or advertise on our website, which will help us with the running cost of the website. It is whatever the ads we get, we kind of help towards put it towards running the website. And finally, connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And we also have our apps, right, on iOS app and Android app. Join us on that. So with this note, inshallah, with this beautiful note, jazakallah khair for everybody joining in. I was expecting less people, but alhamdulillah, a lot of brothers and sisters showed up. So jazakumullah khair for coming in. And I would like to end the session with thanking all the presenters who came in and spent their time 2-3 hours. This is a lot of time. Jazakallah khair, Brother Sarim, Brother Abdul Wahab, and Brother Fawad. So jazakallah khair. I know Brother Fawad is working today. Even though he said he's working, he will kind of attend the session and give provide his help. So jazakallah khair everybody. And inshallah I will close the session with this dua. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. صدق الله العظيم. Jazakallah khair. This was your brother Dawood Ahmed from ALMPG team, and the whole ALMPG team, Brother Ilyas Riaz and Brother Raja Muhammad, who helped us out. Thank you so much, guys, for making this event possible. May Allah reward everybody with the best of their intention, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Until next session, this is your brother Dawood Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum.